Here we go. Welcome everyone, hello. Welcome to day one of round one of pod one. Actually, wait, it's pod two. But hello everyone. Welcome to the KiPiPi Cup Invitational Tournament. I'm super hyped, I've been waiting for this for so long now. How's it going everybody? Hey Liliana, delivery girl, hello. Good luck to Auntie in chat. Yeah, good luck to everyone. Oh my gosh. Whew. So, the teams should be assembling in at their tables. Oh. I see one team practicing right now. But I'll let them be. But before we jump into the games, while they're finishing up, I'll take a second just to run through what you're about to watch. Yeah, and who the teams are. Great question, Liliana. The schedule's here. It's also down in the description if you want to check it out. I also posted it on Discord. But yeah, let's first introduce the teams, but also, one sec, I'm sorry. This is going to confuse people and confuse me. Usually we're going to have Pod A and then Pod B play, but today is special. Scheduling was sort of wild, but we're going to watch Pod B and then in a couple hours watch Pod A. What do I mean by pods? Well, let's introduce our 8 fabulous teams in this competition. Whew. So these teams basically self-selected. They except for the Team Hydra and Team 4, so for our regular viewers, you recognize those names. But yes, let's start with Pod B, actually, since they're going to be playing first. We have, playing live today, V for Valletta, featuring Adrian, Floriman, Kyle, and Valletta, all mainstays of the Hanabi community. I'm going to have to say that a lot. And also playing live today is Phantom Pablo. Love the name. Shout out to Pablo J, who was not able to play, but yeah, featuring Auntie, Jack, Natawa, and Raven. So a couple newer names in there, but also some old schoolers, so great teams there. Yes, all the teams. I'm so glad people were on point with the team names. After they play live, we're also going to check the replay, speaking of good names, of Civilized. And then Team 4, we also have the replay for, yes. So, stacked table. Okay, zoop. Later on, Pod A. We'll talk about them later, but here they are if you're curious. I'll introduce them in a couple hours. But to be clear, each of these pods are playing totally different decks, but the same formats. And the idea is how the tournament works. Phase 1, each of these 4 teams are going to try to compete, and the top 2 teams of each pod will advance. And you can see, yes, they will advance, and the top 2 teams will go into the semifinals on the 24th. If that's confusing to anyone, I can explain further, but yeah, hopefully not. So each team's going to play 4 rounds. This is round 1, and we're starting with the classic 6-suit. And yeah, okay, I see them. They are in the lobby. Is everyone hype? I'm very hype. we're gonna see some wild stuff. I can only hope that I can keep up with everything. You will note, folks have a lot of time. We added some time. Especially this time because there's this glitch that's been happening. Oh, I really hope we don't see the glitch today. So, send your thoughts and prayers. Oh boy. It should be okay though. But yeah, just in case the glitch happens, I decided to give them some extra time because if it happens, you have to keep refreshing the page and retyping your notes, and it's a nightmare, so... Klizik says, awesome. Even with a spectator. Okay, awesome, awesome. And Timo, you did not experience the glitch, right? We have Timo in chat, who his team played... Was it yesterday? I forget. No glitch. Oh, you fixed it. Oh my god. Timo the legend, the absolute madman, fixed the glitch. Okay. Well, thank you, Timo. Timo from Civland. What's up, Maddie? Thank you for joining. Let's get hype. You can see... Oh, also, folks, check it out. Do you see down in the corner? This is a little experimental, but you asked, and I listened. Yo, Fafford, thank you for following. Actually, Fafford, fun fact, you are follower number 100, so... Hype. I added a little... Where is it? A little preview window. So if we switch views, we'll get to see the other table. Hopefully that's not more confusing, but hey, it should be interesting. Okay. Oh my gosh, all the players are here. So let me tell the players that they can begin. Holy moly. You can start. Folks, here we go. We are seconds away. You can start. Good luck. Have fun to all the teams. Woo boy. Pip mode? What's pip mode? The glitch was that you needed to keep refreshing the page. It was a nightmare, but hopefully we're not going to see it. Okay, folks, we're in. V for Valletta has begun. Boom, we are in. Uh-oh, I have them backwards. Of course. It wouldn't be a Piano Blue stream if I didn't have the names wrong. Ahem. Hold on a sec. V for Valletta. Okay. Adrian goes first. Planning his move. Oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, this is unexpected, folks, but I do believe they are playing with a non-conventional system. Notice all the players have shot moved their cards. Did everyone else know this was happening? I did not know this was happening. Holy moly. Oh my god, the hype just increased. I didn't know that was possible. Okay, meanwhile, who's the first seat, Alice? Here. Okay, Raven is in the Alice seat, surveying the field. Take a minute in chat. What would you do if you were Raven in this board? It's an interesting start. I see lots of ones. The teal suit is basically all there. Okay, and we start with the 3 clue. Phantom Pablo with the 3 clue. Now, I have to admit, folks, I do not know the full conventions that everyone's using right now, so your guess is as good as mine. But I will say all these teams are pro Hanabi players, so... Previous notes shift. No, the notes were just like super glitched. They just got eaten by the server. Okay. So, oh. So Raven did the yellow clue. Starting I think Raven's idea here is probably to leave Jack some wiggle room to do what he wants. He could do an ejection. He could do a 4 charm. And yeah, folks, if you're joining from the New Blood tournament, you're gonna learn a lot of weird terminology here, because boy, do high-level Hanabi conventions get wacky. So yeah, I like that the tournament started off with a 1-for-1. Okay, over to V for Valletta. Where did they start? A 3 clue into a 3 bluff. Okay, that's solid. Hat guessing is forbidden. Hat guessing is not allowed. I decided, at least for this tournament, that it goes against the spirit. But man, I'm fascinated by this chop move strategy. It does appear that they are playing direct signaling, so it's not like this is a referential system. They are doing direct play clues, right? This teal clue is a 1 clue here. So what it sounds like to me, I wonder how much they've tested this. It looks like they're experimenting with starting their opening hands chop moved. I'm so fascinated. It's a bold strategy, I gotta say, because to my knowledge, no group has really tested this. Maybe they've been playing in private or something. I really don't know. Interesting. Yes. So there is a new system being developed called Turbo that plays similarly. And then, of course, Civ systems also... It's not so much that you start with your hand chop moved, it's just that your chop starts on the left. So, subtle difference. Maybe Timo could, if he wants to go into more detail, go for it. But okay, it's sort of paying off, right? Because the cards are chop moved. Oh my god, it's letting them play like BGA style. Focus left. I'll be so interested if this strategy pans out for them. Meanwhile, how are we doing on Phantom Pablo? That's funny. Both teams have done this green clue, but I sort of suspect it's for different purposes. Jack clues green, except for Phantom Pablo, this is focused on the green 4, which means, guess what? Anti trusts that it is a 4 charm. Interesting. Very interesting. Yep, and so that sort of explains why, Raven decided to play it calm, give Jack a stable clue, right? Instead of forcing Jack into a blind play, Raven gave him something, and then let Jack give a 4 charm. So I like that approach. I like the approach. And now, oh my god, Nitawa with the monster clue. 4 to Jack. Will Jack be able to see it? Jack sees a teal 1, teal 3, so does he have the teal 2 note? Not yet. Alright. I think he'll figure it out. But yeah, this is it. This is a it has teal 1, then Jack will play this as teal 2, gasp in surprise, then play this, and then Anti will play this. So this clue is getting 5 cards for 1 clue. Not bad value. Okay. Alright, similar. Adron. Yeah, it's sort of... well, I like that both teams are jumping on the opportunity to get teal played, right? So now this reclue on the 4, very similar, right? Valletta's saying, play this, then play this, and Flurry now has a teal 3. Yes, Bluxy is one of my many alter egos. So, if I'm Valletta, I will say, I wonder what I would want to do on this turn. Okay, I like her approach, yeah, because from her perspective, if she just plays into her own hand, she's worried that maybe Flurry might not have stuff to do. So she's passing these ones over, and probably will even see a sarcastic. Now, this is a really good approach. What they're doing here, notice there's only been one play. Everyone's just sort of squeezing out all the play clues, right? We got the teal, we got the green, we got a follow-up finesse, we got another play. They're not in a hurry to actually start playing cards. So, very cool. Lips, are you talking about the chop move nature? I'm so curious to talk to them about this strategy. Oh, actually, hold on. There might be confusion in the... Okay, never mind. I was going to say Valletta might have thought this is the 2, but no, okay. She has it marked as the 1, so that's the important thing. Okay. Back over here. Yeah, well, this is an interesting hybrid. It seems that it's starting hand chop move, but direct system. Okay. So, yeah. Meanwhile, Phantom Pablo, the teals are underway. Natawa picks up the last purple. And now Jack, perfect timing, Jack plays what he thought was teal 2. Now this is fully known. Oh boy. Quick reminder, by the way, that they are playing with bottom deck risks as the main form of tiebreak. So that means they're going to all be looking out for their chops. And if you don't remember what that is, or if you're new here, welcome. So a bottom deck risk. Let's say Adrian discarded this red 4, but no other red 4s on the table. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong screen. If Adrian, discards this red 4, and no other red 4 is seen, well, that's a risk of the game, right? Because if this red 4, if the other copy is on the bottom of the deck, technically you would never be able to win the game. So, even if they get a perfect score, which I expect a lot of the teams will get a perfect score, not only that, but they also want to minimize the risk of discarding good cards. So, yeah, so it's a leveling game, right? It's not just playing the cards. You gotta be very careful with how you're working with your team, right? Okay, so yeah, but for now it looks like they just have plays for days. 1 into 3 into 4. Okay, so their team is just going to be playing forever. So okay. Meanwhile, speaking of playing forever. Okay, Auntie decides it's safe to discard. We got our first discard of the tournament. On turn 12, by the way. Okay, this is nice. Natawa gives a 2 clue, which might seem like a weird clue, right? But it sends a very important signal. It tells Raven, hey, please play this card instead of discarding this. So you'll see the whole team has marked this as a chop move. This card, we were just talking about this red 4. Now this red 4 is protected for the rest of the game. So nice job, Team Phantom Pablo. I'll close the chat. Raven says that there's a suspicious spectator named Bluxy. Now, I have to imagine Auntie's going to blind play this, but is there some reason? Maybe he's debating... Okay, you know what? Yeah, Natawa's hand is pretty scary. Wow. Yeah, how is Phantom Pablo going to deal with these 3s? Yikes. What do y'all think? You might think, oh, simple. Just clue 3. Reverse finesse. But Auntie now has to wonder, what will Natawa do on her turn? Well, what if she just discards? Incredibly awkward. But Lipster says, green play 3. Yes, that would be the conservative approach. Okay, but Auntie decides to YOLO it I'm guessing he's trusting that Natawa... Oh! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, we got our first BDR. Auntie went with the gamble and decided that Natawa was going to clue this card. But, there's trouble in paradise here. I'm going to have to... Oh, well, I probably will make some phantom jokes, but for now I'll just say this is scary for the phantoms. Natawa decided... Yeah, that Raven's hand is also important, so she decided to sacrifice her chop. Sad trombone indeed. Oh dear, okay, so that's gonna sting. You have to wonder if other players will think they might have yellow 3. Oh boy, okay. How are the Vallettas doing? Yeah, you can see, so Adron on turn 1, we could go all the way back. He sort of foresaw this problem coming. He looked into the future like 3 rounds, 20 turns, and figured, well, let's just cut to the chase and clue 3s. And then this will be easier to save too. Though I guess if they were all chop moved, then then I guess they weren't in danger anyway. Hello, Davey! Uh-oh, I don't think we're really. Technically, we started like 5 minutes late, but welcome! Yeah, no, this is on time. You might be thinking of Pod A. Pod A is going to start at 5 p.m. Eastern, so... Oh dear, okay, so Kyle is in the same spot. There's 1 clue left. Oh, interesting. Hold on. I see a note. Double chop moved. Double chop moved? I wonder. Ah, maybe it was double chop. It's like extra important because there's 3 clue. I don't know. I will have to ask them about their... Oh, okay, it was this. It was their order chop move here. Floorman played the leftmost one, which I think signals extra chop moved. Yeah, so even though it technically starts chop moved, Floorman's really hammering it home that this is a good card and to hold on to it. Okay. So, Kyle, with the teamwork, clues yellow. Ooh, this is a cute little finesse. I wonder how this will resolve. Yellow here is a finesse, right? But Adron has the yellow one, and Valletta has the yellow one. So the question now becomes, is Valletta gonna blind play this, thinking it's yellow 1? Yeah, Timo, maybe. I think it was just the order chop move, but I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, Valletta trusts the ambiguous. Now, this, clearly, this would be a weird clue, since that's a duped card. But it makes sense. All it means is that this is now known yellow 1. Man, okay, wacky stuff. V for Valletta has still yet to discard. We're 20 turns in. They've finished a suit. They still have blind plays to spare. But now I have to wonder, is this purple 4 in danger? This red 2 is chop moved, but this one seems to be at risk now. Interesting. Maybe we'll see a weird move like an ejection. Or perhaps a bluff. It is their last clue though, so they have decisions to make. The early game is coming to a close. Okay, meanwhile, sorry, let's go back. Lots of stuff was happening. We lost the yellow 3 last we checked, right? Yes. Raven follows up with the green. It's funny, okay, Auntie has the blue 2s in this board instead of Adron. And Jack simply bluffs it out. Very nice bluff. Now, to anyone familiar or not familiar with Bluffs, you're gonna see a lot of Bluffs the next few weeks, so let me just take a second, okay? Let's talk about a bluff. Jack clues this purple 3 as a play clue, but purple 2 is not played. So now Auntie has to think, wait a minute, where's the purple 2? I must have it. Boom! And is shocked, gasps in surprise when he actually plays a blue 2. But guess what? That works. Nothing else will go wrong. Auntie knows what happened, right? It was just a clever way to get this blind played and this touched. And obviously Natawa knows that this is purple 3. And she says, it's a 3 party over here. Yes, indeed. Uh-oh, okay. Natawa has written that this is yellow 3. I think that is reasonable. We'll see what happens to this card. Okay, another bluff. Oh, uh-oh. I sadly will not be able to follow any bridge jokes, so you'll have to explain a bridge joke if it occurs. Another classic bluff though, right? Red, play clue, Jack blind plays. It's not red 1, but it's resolved. So very nice stuff. Interestingly, Auntie still does not know which 5 this is. Hey, Piper, hello, welcome. This is chop moves. This one, there's a copy of, so I think Jack's hand is the main concern here. I'm going to call a shot right now. I'm going to say that Natawa's going to do a very fancy move. I bet Natawa is going to clue 1 to Jack. But we will see. We will see. Let's leave them be. How are the VVs going? I'm getting spoiled. Okay, we have the weird ambiguous stuff. Kyle with the extra chop move. Ah! Okay. They fought hard, but even the V for Vallettas, they also have succumbed to a bottom deck risk. Purple 4 is gone. Yep. But so it goes. Double bluff in rough civ. Okay, so Adron is in what we call double discard avoidance. So this is just a normal kind of clue. Nice and simple. Got the yellows to play. It's nice to see Adron playing. I haven't seen him play in a while. Back upon a day, we used to be tournament teammates as well. Pestilent double bluff. Oh, and Ref Civ. We are going to see Ref Civ later from the, obviously from the Civilized. But no spoilers. Okay, so a quick check. The early game's over. Things have simmered down. I wish I could. I feel like most of their actions have been playing. Yeah, they've scored 14 points in 28 turns. That means literally half the turns have been playing cards. Damn. Okay. The Pablos. It's the PPs versus the VVs. All right, chat. I called it. I called it. 1s to Jack. Excellent clue. Natawa spotted it too. I'm proud of both of us for spotting this. I think it's clever. So here's the deal, right? This 1 was just drawn. So Jack has to think, okay, maybe it's red 1. But Jack also sees a red 1 here. Mysterious. So, what does it mean? It means Jack can discard it. Auntie will play this 1. And now, why on earth did Natawa go through all this trouble to clue this 1? When she literally could have just clued this 1. Well, much like in a lot of high-level Hanabi, everything has a reason. So the reason you do this is to tell Jack not to discard. So very well played. And now with one swoop, I think the race is back to even. Phantom Pablos have managed to hold on to the purple 4 that we saw the V for Valletta lose. So we've got a race on our hands, folks. Okay, blue 4. This is not a BDR because the other one is visible. Alright, and now we've got a flurry on the Pablo side. Lots of plays to do. Ooh, okay, and another Duke 4. Exciting stuff. Alright, meanwhile. Ooh, I almost missed this real quick, but man, see, if you look away for 1 sec, you might miss something, and that could cost you the game. Valletta discarded her rightmost trash here instead of the leftmost trash, and I'm gonna guess, yes, indeed, we have it. Floorman chop moves this card because that's weird. Yeah. We're playing on very thin edges here. I also like, this is pretty funny, these blue 2s have been here this whole game. Well, not the whole game, but they've been riding here. No one's cluing them. That might seem very weird, but I think we're going to see something very sneaky pretty soon. We'll see how that goes. Oh, okay, even sneakier, holy crap. Talk about sneaky. Kyle discards the yellow 4, and now Adrian must think, what the hell? Pardon the swearing. I'll try to not swear on these streams. Adrian must think, why on earth would you do that? Now, I really have to spend a whole extra clue on this? But no. What if? What if there's a reason? If Adrian is paying attention, we are about to see a blaze. Do we have a note? Yes, we have the note. Adrian is going to do it. He's I actually wonder what he is thinking about. Maybe this red 3, I don't know. What is Adrian stalling for, I wonder? Alright, well the blaze has occurred. Now, Adrian, desperately flinging this card onto the field from his 3rd finesse position, tells Valletta that her yellow 4 is not here, and in fact Kyle has bamboozled the team. Yellow 4 is way in the back, and let's see, indeed, finessed. Whew. Alright, spicy stuff. There's a lot to keep track of here. I hope y'all are following along okay. Let me know if you ever have any questions or ideas. Do let me know. So what did we see here? Raven. We got a bomb here. Going over a checklist. Yep, play it safe. Raven with the 4 clue. Okay, so this is clear. This is just a save clue. 4 here. But we did get a bomb here. It looks like there was a little desync. This 4 clue, registered as a finesse. Now this could signal a few things, but I gotta say, man, whenever a bomb happens like this, everyone is gonna be super on edge. That means there is desync in the air, and now there's like a meta puzzle of figuring out what the desync is. So let's see. Jack says yellow, maybe yellow purple. Everyone has the chop move note. I don't know. I don't know. But hopefully they've reset. Okay. I wonder... Well, everyone's chop is safe, so now it's just a matter of drawing the right cards. Now that we're going into the middle game, I will explain another bit. Even though BDR bottom deck risk is the main tiebreak, the teams are also incentivized to try and play very fast and efficiently. Not fast as in time, though they are timed. I mean fast as in the turn count. You can see down here, every turn might matter as well. Say two teams get a perfect score, one bottom deck risk each, but one team manages to finish the game in 60 turns, and the other one took 65 turns. Well, the lower turn count would win. So there are layers of, meta strategy that they need to think about here. Good thing this is chop moved. Blood has got known trash, so again, yeah, there's nothing in danger here. It looks like both teams have hit sort of a drought. Gotta play those playables. Oh, okay, so the purple 4 has shown up, so that must be a relief. Speaking of reliefs, let's see. This team, Phantom Pablo must be hoping this yellow 3 shows up at some point soon. That was their BDR of the game. Okay. Man, I like that we have more time. How's everyone doing? The players are taking their time. Even when it seems like there's not much to think about, every little decision can count. Who's discarding? Who's drawing? Who's cluing? It might seem pointless at this point, but it really does matter, right? For example, like Raven's hand is starting to get kind of bloated. Jack has a critical 4 into a critical 3. Meanwhile, Auntie's hand is all trash. Natawa's hand is basically all trash. So actually, okay, this is cool though. I think this is another unorthodox move. Natawa is chop moving this purple 4, even though they already have the other purple 4. Interesting strategy. But the idea is, and I think it's a cool idea, Natawa has seen it, right? Like we said, Raven's hand is bloated. I don't know. I don't think it'll matter, but it could matter. It could matter. Discard trash instead of 3s. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're talking about discarding all these new cards. Okay. Speaking of new cards, Adrian just had a good long think, and I think has determined that he should not be the one discarding. I like it. Actually, Adrian has an interesting note. Let's see, I think 5 from Floraman would be better than 3 on turn 35. Okay. Adrian says, I hate giving this right now and really want to discard it. Okay. Man, I love rigorous note-taking. Shout out to, it was really Florat and Libster were the ones, like a couple of years ago, that revolutionized my Hanabi playing when I saw them in competitions writing these like essays on their notes. And it wasn't, I don't think it was just for posterity. I think it was just because they were really trying to jot down their thought processes and their teammates' thought processes during the game. Yeah. So I do like that there are some nice long notes. Floorman, yeah, good card, otherwise why not bluff? Right? So he can see like, And in fact, he's called it. Maybe unclueable blue 3, blue 4. Floorman, the legend Floorman, straight up... Okay, wait, okay, he got a discharge, so that's funny. I guess this wasn't actually chop moved, but Floorman has identified that he probably has a blue 4 in here. So, awesome read. Oh my gosh, this seed is starting to look a little cursed. We're like 50 turns in, and still no purple 2 has been drawn. But okay, let's move back to Phantom Pablo land. Oh, you did write. Okay, sure. Yeah, me too. I do think that's a pretty cool thing as well. Writing notes so people can track. Yeah, well, that's fair too. Okay, we got the reds. That's a clever clue, by the way. Because we got the 5 clue, Natawa is speeding up. I really like Natawa's play this game, by the way. She's being very careful about just getting cards smoothed out. This should not be a UTD because this is going to be known trash. Man, I don't even know these days. What are the kids doing these days with if this could be a 5? I think Jack would play this as red 5, but as a, oh my god, what's it called? A soft reverse weak form trash finesse. Alright, 7 cards left. Oh my god, 5 cards left. 5 cards left and still no purple 2. Holy crap. Okay, here's the purple 2. And we might actually see the this distribution mattering. Depending on what Raven draws, it might actually help a lot. Oh wait, no, never mind. No, okay, that would be backwards. It looks like this chop move will not end up mattering because Jack kept drawing trash. But this is going to be some hard endgame calculations. Natawa with the party face. The purple 2 has been spotted. Let's see if they've gotten the good news yet. Not yet. We got the discharge into a YOLO bomb. Ah, this was because this card was chop moved before. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of information to be gained from this bomb, I think. Alright, Adron got his wish of being able to discard. And everyone's now desperately waiting for the purple 2, and oh my gosh, Kyle with both the purple 3s. Natawa with the only purple 3 here. It's a full-on race, folks. Whoops, that's the wrong screen. How are they doing on turn count, though? I feel like it might be a little different. Well, okay. To be fair, okay, Pablo's just been playing faster, that's why. Okay, so good point. A good point here, yeah. This purple clue is indeed... Well, let's see. I think the idea is that Valletta doesn't know her 5. So I don't think this would work, right? I'm not sure. Yeah, blue 5 was unknown. So, yeah, I think this is actually... Okay, chat, hold on. New tech, ready? This is a discharge. Valletta play clues this card, saying this is a playable card. Now Floraman has to think, whoa, this is really bad news. I can't just blind play, because this is trash. How can I, what can I do to promise this is trash? Long story short, Floraman has to do something extra special, and blind play his 3rd finesse position. And now this is marked trash. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Thank you, y'all. Let me run it back real quick. The problem is the names are switched on my screen, so yeah, it's a little bit cursed. I'm sorry. Round 1 is always scuffed, right? So yes, this purple clue here is trash. So Floraman can't respond normally. So Floraman has to do something even more weird. And turns out the normal response is a 3rd finesse blind play. That identifies it as trash. But okay, sorry, let's zoom ahead. Lots of discards, we didn't really miss anything. Purple save. Okay, they're about to find the purple 2. There it is, okay. How are they doing on order, though? Oh, wow. Not only that, but 2 5s are near the bottom as well. Holy crap. I'm going to guess right now that all these players are going to take their sweet time. There are 3 cards left. 4 cards left. This is the end game, folks. Yeah, this is where... Oh, man. End games are very hard to optimize. Especially, I mean, when they're tight like this. One discard might look innocent, but you can randomly lose the game if you don't calculate. And by lose, I mean, you know, getting a 29 instead of a 30, so... Yeah, I expect lots of time to be burned here, which is absolutely the correct thing to do. Both players have been clued their 2s, and everyone is in the tank. Well, I'll do a quick analysis here. When it comes to... Oh, we have action. Okay, the purples have now been identified. But this is really weird, right? The order... It's not bad, actually. This should be fine. Yeah, everything seems fine. 2 will play. The thing that makes this a little scary is that not only do they have to play the purples, but there's 2 5s missing as well. Also, I just remembered, Libster and Timo in chat, they already went through this. So they're getting to kick back and watch this, knowing what happens. So I hope y'all took your time on this endgame as well. But yeah, this is where turns are going to matter a lot. Ideally, you want to have it end so a 5 can play out and like as soon as it's drawn. I don't know. If the wrong person draws the 5, you might have to like wait a whole round to get back to their turn to play it, and that's an extra 3 turns in the bank. So, whew. Okay, I won't bore you guys too much with endgame stuff, but all right. This is a big deal. It's actually very important. I think that Raven did not draw a 5. I think that's going to be helpful. Oh, and I guess now is the time to mention, this is a new rule, or a different rule than the New Blood tournament. We are playing with bottom deck blind plays. You can see the little symbol at the bottom. That means players are able to, when there's only 1 card left in the deck, instead of playing a card normally, this will light up. You're actually probably about to see it. The bottom card will light up, and you can choose to play that from the deck. So, it's 50-50 now that, well, no, it's 100%. Both those cards are 5s. So, someone will bottom deck blind play, presumably, if they trust their team. Oh, Timo claims that Phantom Pablo will probably win, even if the 5s are drawn. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, that's a big hurt. Kyle would have loved to draw a 5 here, but now there's nothing to do with play. Okay, yeah, this is fine. Valletta can even YOLO it. There it is! There's our bottom deck blind play. Nice. And that is excellent. Play, 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 play. 69 turns. Very nice. Very nice. Perfect score from V for Valletta. Claps in chat, please. Well done. Let's see if they can get the 69 as well. They're at 67, so it's not looking it's not looking good. Oh dear. It looks like we are going to have to come down to second tiebreaks. Yeah. This is a bummer. It's a bummer that the 4s and 5 are out of order. So I wouldn't be surprised if they get exactly 72 turns. I don't know, that's napkin math, but just the fact that, yeah, in this game, they got to do 4 into 5, right? The 4 played and then the 5 got to play. But Phantom Pablo will need to have the 4 play here and then wait for the play. So, painful. That's really hard to avoid too, because the 4s just ended up this way. Okay, Auntie's running the math. I wonder if Auntie's thinking about bombing here. That would be fascinating. That would be probably not a good idea. Okay. Auntie stalls. Hydrate. Thank you. Cheers. Okay, Raven can swag. Man, it's been so long since I've played with bottom deck blind plays. Hey, Unquad, welcome. Oh, Jack with the pre-play. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think they could have saved one turn, actually, if Raven played this, right? If Raven played the yellow 5. But, okay, it's close. Yeah, because now... Oh, no! Oh, wait. Oh, no, Jack... Oof. Oh, I didn't even realize. Oh, that's a... Oh, that's a big... Oh, no. Yeah, Raven wasn't able to play this card. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Sorry, I'm slow on the mark here, but yeah. That triggers the end of the game, so Raven is not going to be able to play both his 5s. Ooh, okay. Ouch, ouch. What did I say, folks? Endgames are rough. But yes. Lipster has a good point. Well, no, it's not the only way. I think he could have stalled. Anyway, they're doing... Let's let them do the review. GG's to them, 29. They're all on the board. But yes, I think if Raven had blind played here, it would have been turn 69, turn 70, 71, 72, 73. So, well, that's a small consolation, is that because of this, they would have ranked 3rd place or 2nd place. Either way. Endgames, folks. I didn't really think about this, but I just realized that I'm gonna be on the spot here, needing to commentate all of these endgames, because oh god, they're not easy to get really well. But this was a beautiful play. Kyle's blind play here, or sorry, Valetta's. She trusted that she did not have a 5 in her hand, and she YOLO'd from the bottom. Excellent play. Yeah, if she didn't do that, then... Yeah, if she, like, discarded to wait further instruction... Okay, it would have been another turn. Okay, well, there you go. So... let's let them review. But there is more action coming your way. Because... like I alluded to, we still have another team from Pod B that played. Actually, wait, we had 2 teams. Oh my gosh, we have so much content today. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, so y'all, there's more. There's a lot more. Unfortunately, yeah. This is gonna be like 4 hours of broadcast. For the future rounds, just to note, most rounds are going to be split up Monday, Tuesday. So Pod A is on Mondays and Fridays. Pod B is on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Reminder again, this schedule is posted in the description below or on Discord. So, yeah. But for now, let's go back and reorient ourselves. So, what we're going to do next is watch Team 4's replay. They played, I think, a couple nights ago. And then we're actually going to have a special guest. Steven, S.J. Drudge from Civilized, is actually going to be joining me on commentary to help explain the shenanigans that you're about to see in the Civilized Ref Civ game. So... thank you to Steven for coming to the rescue and helping a commentator out. But okay, I see some questions. Pam's the rest of the game. Yep, GG's indeed. GG's. The same teams play again, not tonight. No. So it's spread out. The 4 rounds are spread out over 2 weeks. So it's 1 round every few days. Bottom deck blind play. It was not. It was not in the original rules. Fun history of it was that, well, Libster can correct me if I'm wrong. It was originally made as a way to take the sting out of a bottom deck risk, right? So if you do lose a purple 4 or something, and the other copy is at the bottom, the idea is... Oh my god, what am I doing? Zoom out, please. Sorry. The idea is that if you allow bottom deck blind plays, then you can still get a perfect score. So if you get super unlucky and the purple 4 is on bottom, you can still play it, and then the purple 5. So what we decided to do for this tournament is sort of a compromise position where we are allowing bottom deck blind plays, but you'll still get penalized on tie breaks, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, that's a good point for dark suits as well. Yeah, in dark suits, you might just have like a black 3 or black 4 on bottom, and you just can't win from the start of the game, so... Rocket League conventions, tell me more. I've never heard... Oh, Turbo? Is that Turbo? Is it called Rocket League convention now? Wait, that could mean so many things. Please tell me more, Liliana. But, meanwhile, let's hop into Team 4's replay. Do-do-do. Lies and Slander, Team 4. Boom. And I guess we can hide that little guy. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. Don't look, chat. Don't look. Look away. Uh-oh. Everyone, close your eyes. Don't look. Oh, no. Okay. You can open your eyes. You can open your eyes. It's okay now. Oh, dear. Okay. I hid the spoilers. We're good. We're good. Okay, so this is Team 4. Running it back from their awesome second place victory at the New Blood tournament. Only days ago. I guess it was, what, like a week ago. So let's hop through their game as well. I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen these yet. And then at some point, Steven is going to join. Oh! Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But, refresher, currently we have V for Valletta in first place with a perfect score, 1 BDR. Phantom Pablo, 1 BDR, 29 score, so second place. So let's see how Team 4 does. Solution to challenge. Oh, weird. Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of the Rocket League conventions. Alright, so we start with a red bluff. Very nice. Into a reverse finesse. And if we remember from last game, right, the big question is how are they going to get these teal cards played? Start with 1s. Solid, solid. I expect the blind play here into the 3. Continuation. Alright, so the green suit is basically solved. Okay, and the 1-shot move. So they're going to avoid the fate of losing the yellow 3, as Phantom Pablo did. But let's see if they can still save the purple 3. Nice clean opener. I will say, though, they did slip away the potential of the fast teal finesse. I'm actually going to bet that won't end up mattering, which is interesting. Because we saw there was such like a dry spell in the mid game in this deck, right? There's like the purple 2, both purple 2s and some 5s on the bottom. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Do they? I think they do play with 3 bluffs. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why this was chosen. maybe the idea is, I don't know. If Klizik's in chat, okay, level 10, okay, with trash pushes. Okay, so 3 bluffs. Yeah, 3 bluffs are a weird convention if you're not used to them, because yeah, it sort of breaks the intuitive sense of a bluff in some regard. So yeah, some teams don't play with it. Okay, so green suit just like that is done. Very nice. Purple. And yeah, okay. Am I changing my mind? This is going to be a little scary. A little scary. It's not like they're going to lose the teal cards, but if they end up needing to spend a lot of clues on them, it's going to be a lot of balls in the air, right? To get all these played and also save these cards. So interesting. Yo, instantiation, hello. Strikes are hidden because we're watching a replay, and I don't want to spoil you all. It is possible that this team strikes out. That was great feedback we got last game when I accidentally spoiled a strikeout game. So thank you all. Thank you to everyone who suggested awesome improvements to this stream. Alright, so yeah, there we go, right? 0 clues. Here's the 2, and there goes the red 4. So we have 1 BDR. Yeah, well, I will say it's usually pretty hard to lose playables. We've seen it before, but that's fair, right? Could and should and will are all are very different. Okay, ooh, that's a very powerful clue here. 4 to Tiger. Wow. Okay, this is an awesome clue. There's some layers here. Let's see. Tiger's note. What is this? Tiger says, what the heck is this? That's fair. Will says, blue 4 lie, it seems. And Klizik says, okay, yeah, Klizik's again with the fire note taking. That's not a valid bluff target, but it is fine. Oh, I see. Okay, this is tricky. Okay, hold on. My brain backfired here. I thought this was blue 3. I see. Okay, so this is a little bit of a fudge, but let's see what happens. Yeah, so blue 2 is gonna. Oh, okay, wow. Okay, folks, hold on to your hats. This is about to get spicy, I think. So, okay, the 4 clue here is actually a self-finesse, it appears. So everyone else is thinking, okay, Tiger's going to start blind playing cards, and then I'm going to play my blue 3. Klizik says, okay. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, so play clue through this. Will, I remember from the New Blood tournament, is very good at, oh god, okay. I see lots of notes on these cards. Uh-oh, okay. No 3 clue. Oh my god, are we gonna get a purge bluff? Oh my god, wait. Okay. We're gonna have to wait and find out. Ah, okay. Well, here's the other layer of why this is confusing. Is that Tiger thinks it's blue 2 here. Whew, okay. So there's definitely some desync here. Okay, so Tiger's discarding. Okay, so, oh no! The commentator's curse has hit us, folks. What did I say about the teal cards? Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, so the team was expecting this to play, but Tiger's expecting this to play. This is the classic ambiguous finesse. Uh-oh. Trouble in the Team 4 neighborhood. Yeah, lips are... All clues are illegal, technically, yes. The only clues that are illegal are negative clues. It's because you literally are not allowed to give them by the client. Okay, I do like this fix from Glizzix. And nice, Will Flame. Okay, I think they can at least resync now. I actually really like this blue clue to sort of fix the situation and clarify what the heck is going on. Very nice clue. What I thought was going to happen was this wild purge bluff thing where this starts playing and then maybe this plays. Who knows? Who knows? But okay, let's continue. Discard, discard. I'll be careful hovering over the notes. All right, there's the red one. Man, Will Flame's hand is a scary place. There's a lot of scary stuff happening here. Okay, 5. Well, I think I would argue that I don't think this is blue 3 because this is a fixed clue, right? I don't think there'd be any reason to clue this if it was blue 3, but I can only speculate. I personally I like everyone's reads here. Okay. Oh man, Will Flame is living on a prayer here. I can only expect the team held their breath here, and yes, okay. This is probably what made Tiger write these notes. Yes. I hope they do get this red 3 soon, though. There it is. The red 3 has been saved. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, dear. Oh, rip. F's in chat, y'all. Alright, so here's what happened. This red clue is on chop. So guess what? Will Flame marks it as red 4. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Yeah, one little slip up can do that, right? It might look so innocent to clue red versus 3, but yeah, 3 would have actually made it known playable. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Hanabi is hard. But yes, we've gone full commentator's curse and the teal suit has been lost. Oh no. But maybe there's a lesson here, right? Play clue the cards when you can, because you never know what'll happen. Hey Natawa, congrats on the game. Tough ending. But you might have some, what is it, Schadenfreude, seeing this teal 4 discard. For the competitors watching, I'm sure this is a mixed feeling to see, but ooh, Tiger with the...
Can you hear me?
Oh. Hello, Steven.
Hello. I am on a friend's account. How's the audio quality?
I have no idea. Let's ask chat. Can chat hear Steven? I actually have no idea if they can. Help me out, chat. Okay, they say you sound good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm tuning in from a friend's house, actually. I'm not at my own setup today. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting in the middle of the broadcast. I can certainly stand by until it is time for me to say hello.
No, it's all good. We are watching the other replay from Pod B, and then y'all are on deck.
Sounds great. Okay, I'll let you take it away.
All right, I'll ping you when we're ready for the Civland. Steven has appeared. Okay, yeah, so... I don't know. I don't know what this discard is, but I'm gonna guess it's just nerves. Is that right? Maybe it's... I don't know. I don't know. But I know that feeling well. When you lose like a critical or something, then stuff gets rough. And you can easily forget that what you're about to do. Okay, well, Will Flame is like, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. And decides that this was probably supposed to play. So, again, nice read by Will. But yeah, that's rough. It's definitely rough. There's the teal. And now we're going to play the same game as we did before. Where's the purple 2? Right off the bat, I can see this setup is much better, right? You see the 5 here. You see the 4 right before it. And Ran P has the 3, so we have 3, 4, 5. This is exactly what you want to see in an endgame situation. So I predict their turn count will be good. Okay, 5 stall. Oh, okay, the bomb. Ooh. Man, I'm getting like shakes when I see a bomb. Okay, that I will say that's a little bit speculative that this is purple too after all this time. But I mean, you're getting play clued, so it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I wonder if maybe 3s would be more polite to Klizzix, just to fill this in. But fortunately, this literally doesn't matter. And actually, maybe that's part of his calculation, is that... Actually, let's see. Yeah, I mean, if this is purple 2, then it's great. If it's not purple 2, then it doesn't matter, because the purple 3 is here anyway. So, yeah, okay. And they have the strikes for it, so 3. I like the continuation. And now we're just going to get a beautiful flurry of the endgame. 3. Oh, okay, okay. No commentator's curse. I'm sorry. They do have to be careful. Once again, Klizzix cannot discard here, because then, all of a sudden, Rand P will not be able to play. Let's see if they got the stall. They got the stall. Stall 1. Oh, wait. Okay, they have to stall again. Oh. Oh, dear. Wait. Okay, yeah, man. Brutal. Brutal stuff. I forgot the 5s were on bottom. Whew, the purple suit has been cursed. Yeah, you're right. Okay, okay. Right, because even if you play this, Ran P is still gonna get burdened with this. Okay, so you know what? I take it all back. It turns out this did end up hurting them. That Ran P was burdened with both of these. Because... Because everyone else didn't draw the 5s. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, okay, so Timo correctly points out that... Oh, man. Yeah, Team 4, if you're watching, don't take this harshly. This is very cruel. But, yeah, Timo has a really good point that technically maybe just stalling out here would give a little bit more breathing room. But hey, alright. Yeah, so actually I take it back. This was probably the best line you had for the 27. GG. Well, this is exciting. We had a 30, 29, 27. It's anyone's game. And let me now call in Steven. Hello, Steven.
Hello, Piano. How's it going?
It's going pretty great. I'm sure you can imagine that I'm very hyped about this.
Yeah, me too. I've yet to see any of the results, other than, of course, my own result, which is what I'm here to commentate. But yeah, very exciting stuff.
Well, so you know your result. I don't know your result, but I do know all the other results. So do you want a spoiler for how the other teams did?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
So your fiercest competition right now, currently in first place, before, you know, depends on what you do, was V for Valletta. They scored a 30 and only got 1 BDR.
That's a pretty good score.
So that is the score to beat. So the big question, folks, this is going to be well, I guess it's not the tournament debut, right? Is it for RefCiv?
I think so. Oh, sorry. We have played RefCiv in competitions before, but this is certainly the first time this team has played RefCiv together.
Cool. Right, yeah, you and Florat, or did Florat learn it from scratch?
That's right. Florat is learning RefCiv for the first time for this tournament. But Florat is a very fast learner, so...
All right, folks, before I'm going to sort of let Steven take the... Oh, let me make a shared lobby. Hold on. Before I pass it over to Steven, I will say, I don't know how they did, but this is going to be a big treat for everyone watching. This is basically a whole new system that Timotry, Steven, Lipster, others have been working on. It's fascinating. The whole idea... I'll just give the basics. First of all, it's a referential system, which means when you get a clue, it's not just telling you, well, it's not telling you about this card being playable. It's basically saying to push the card to the left of it, or to save cards to the left of it. But that's the basics. It's instead of a direct clue, it's saying it's referencing another card. So this is a whole new like frontier of Hanabi. I'm super excited to see how it, how it does today. So, Steven, I'm going to make a shared replay and pass you lead if you want.
Sure, yeah, we can do it that way. Let me open up Hanabi.live.
Or actually, I mean, if you're in a weird setup, I can lead, and if you want to just talk, maybe that's simpler.
Sure, yeah, I'm happy to just watch your stream and commentate that way.
Okay. Or if you want, I could just pretend I know what I'm doing and make up conventions as we go. Yes, so clearly this 5 clue is a quadruple ignition. Okay, take it away.
So the 5 clue, yeah. So just first of all, to expand a little bit on the introduction system you were just giving, the idea behind the system and the fact that it's referential is just this idea that giving a clue to the card that is about to be played or discarded is less efficient than giving a clue to a card that's going to stay in the hand after you play or discard that card. And so our thought process is, let's just never, or at least not as often as in other systems, clue the card that we actually care about. Let's fill in the rest of the hand as we give people play and discard instructions. The other really unique thing about the system, and is the part where the Civ comes from, is that it is a discard newest system. So with the typical age group system, you discard the oldest unclued card in your hand. But for us, we're always discarding the newest unclued card in our hand, unless told otherwise. And this is a technique that we originally picked up from the robots. The machine learning algorithms that are out there that are trying to learn how to play Hanabi efficiently came up with the idea of discarding newest. And we found that it's very effective.
That's super cool.
Yeah, there's some different theories about why it's effective, but one of my favorite theory at least, is that it's because the card in your hand that is most likely to be trash is the card that you just drew from the deck. That may be non-obvious why that's true, but if anybody's more interested in that, you can ping me off stream and I can explain why that would be true.
Oh my god, I'm getting like bot bamboozled. I'm getting 5 messages from the wannabe famous bots.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say that is... Maybe it's a good thing. It means we have a lot of viewers. Maybe it's because I hit 100 followers. Maybe all the bots are sniffing me out now.
Yes. Well,
can I like make someone a moderator? Timo, do you want mod? I don't even know how to... Okay, Timo, you're a mod. Lipster, you're a mod. If you guys could help me out, that I would really appreciate it. But if anyone wants to be famous, no. Okay, sorry, continue.
Right, okay, so let's go to the first move of this game, which is the 5 clue to Florat you were talking about. And one thing that we do in referential Civ is that we use rank clues as save or discard clues. You can think about it either way. And we use color clues as play clues. So you might ask, like, why in the world would Timo give a save clue to Floret here when Floret has 2 playable cards?
Even I can see that this would be available.
Indeed, yes. Or even just a direct ones clue would work, because ones are definitely playable. So we use these sort of nonsensical save clues, would-be save clues, to indicate that we actually want 2 plays to happen. So the way that it works is that when Floret receives a 5 clue, Libster sees that a save clue makes no sense to Floret's hand, and then finds the leftmost playable card in Floret's hand, counts how far it is from the card that's received the save signal, or that has been clued, and then plays the finesse position that corresponds to it. So the teal 1 is 1 card to the left of this 5, and so Libster plays from first finesse position to tell Floret that that's where Floret's expected playable is.
Boom. Okay, makes sense to me. And chat, if you have any questions, please chime in, because I think all questions are good questions when it comes to new systems. Yep, so Floret, sure enough, knows it. Very nice.
Yep. And yep, so I believe Floret played, and maybe it would be good for me to open a shared replay and not have the stream delay. So if you are willing to give me just a moment here.
Yeah, go for it. While you open up, I'm going to say this is my one reservation, the thing that I'm curious to see. Despite everyone saying that I'm a dummy for thinking this, my big question about the system is, how do they deal with like a flurry of good cards showing up? That's my fear, is that, I don't know, if good cards show up, well, if bad cards show up, then it's awesome, right? Libster just drew trash, and now you don't even have to clue these cards. It's all good. And you know, yeah, I should be clear. I'm not like dissing this at all, because I think it's a monster system. But that's my question. I'm going to be watching out for, is how are they going to be able to avoid every single bottom deck risk in a tournament setting? I know that they are very confident that they will, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, so I think you're definitely asking the right question, which is, if we're always going to be potentially discarding a card we just drew from the deck, how do we make sure we have enough clues to deal with that? And in this game, you're going to see that it gets a little uncomfortable. And we certainly had some conversations after this game about ways to make sure that we can identify more trash early on in order to keep the clue count healthier in future games.
Well, my KiPiPi brain loves that idea. But,
yep,
okay,
so,
no spoilers. Let's continue.
Yep. So on the very next clue, you can see this is another playful positional. A save clue that this would normally be interpreted as saving the teal 1 and saving the teal 4 and giving permission to the teal 2 to discard, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. Saving a trash card to put a non-trash card on chop is not really reasonable, and so Timo also interprets this as a playful positional.
I'm assuming that's a blind play here.
Well, so the leftmost playable card in Libster's hand is the teal 2, which is 3 cards to the left of the teal 4, which was blued.
Right.
And so Timo will play third finesse position, which for us...
This is where my brain breaks, by the way.
Yeah.
I cannot... I've tried so many times. God bless everyone who has tried to explain this to me. But yes, this is 3 finesse positions away.
Yep, and so Timo would play the purple 1 to indicate where the teal 2 is. However, one of the things we did discuss afterwards is that there's a very interesting move available here, which is 1s to Libster.
Libster mentioned that in chat. Okay.
Yeah, and this is also a playful positional, because otherwise I'm just giving a play signal to the teal 1, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And so this would be the leftmost playable would still be teal 2 in Libster's hand. And when Timo plays to prove that tells Libster that the focus of the clue was trash. So that would give Libster trash and 2 plays and Timo 1 play. So that would have been a much better clue for Steven to give.
Fancy. Well, this sure looks good to me as well, but that's cool that you're still innovating midway through a tournament. All right, this looks like another fancy move, eh?
So yeah, so this is a color push. So this does not refer to the red 3 directly. It says that the card to the left of the red 3 is playable, which is Florat's blue 1.
I'm pointing at the deck. Yeah, Florat plays from the top of the deck. No, it wraps around to the blue 1. Very cool. A wraparound push. I assume Florat is going to play... Oh, Florat. Ah. Okay, this is the part that I love about this system. It's incredibly strong. Like Steven said, the rank clue here, off chop, is telling Steven to chop move this card. So with 1 clue, boop, you've just arbitrarily saved all these cards. So that's hard to argue with in terms of power.
Yep, Steven's hand is now fully locked. So
and you can see, I was just talking about Libster's note-taking, so you can see his essay here. I love it. You'll love to see it. Okay, sorry.
Yep. So this clue does indeed save all the cards in Steven's hand. It saves not only the cards that were touched, but all cards to the left of the touch cards. And so red 2 is implicitly saved at the same time. And so Steven has to give a clue, but luckily has a pretty good clue to give. And I elect to get the green 2 out of Timo's hand because there's a fairly good chance that I hold at least one of my 3s is green. So I think that's a higher priority card to play than the yellow 1. I don't want to be locked forever.
And just to fill the viewers in for a second, if you're sort of overwhelmed like I am in this, check out what they've done with just 5 clues so far. They've gotten 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards touched or chop moved. Plus 3 cards played is 11. But wait, there's more. Remember, this and this have been gotten. They're just waiting to be played. So 11, 12, 13, 14 cards have been, identified with 5 clues. So that seems pretty good. What do you think, Steven?
Yeah, I do find that we get a lot done with our clues in this system. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, and
so
we use a lot of that.
See a flurry of blind plays here. Oh, sorry.
And then we use a lot of that extra efficiency that we've built up to give less efficient clues later, but clues that make sure that we always are keeping as many safe actions as possible.
Yeah, the safe actions are the scary thing. Okay, so nice. Okay, Florat.
So Libster and Florat both have queued up plays, but they take a turn off here to tell Steven about the green 3 so Steven can unlock, and tell Timo about the green 4.
Yep. Libster says, I wonder if we give this clue when I have green 4. Oh, okay, so Libster's already... You can see, folks, this is a mark of a really veteran Hanabi pro is... right away thinking like, can I have a green 4? That seems like such a weird question to ask, but I don't know. I love it. Or maybe he's asking that later, but who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. All right, now they're surely going to blind play, right? There it is. There it is.
And now you can see that this is the moment where we start to fly by the seat of our pants a little bit. We're down to 1 clue now, and we've all drawn.
Seems scary.
Yeah, we've all drawn a new card on this round, which there's definitely some value to interlacing some discards along with the plays. So you'll see how we navigate the waters in this particular game.
Are we going to see a BDR, folks? We might have a tie game, or are they going to successfully fly their pants up to a zero BDR? Okay.
So this is a save clue to Timo's hand. I'm giving Timo permission to discard the yellow 1.
It's kind of forced into it. Oh, I guess he could play. Okay, yeah. Just to save, yeah.
I could give a play clue, but this is an opportunity to get some discards and maybe get us to a healthier clue count if possible.
Davey, I agree. Yes, the high-pitched piano noises are an excellent part of the system. Sorry, Steven.
No, that's a great point. I like it. Yep.
All right, do we get a 2 save here? Ooh, tempo clue, chop move.
Yeah. So once again, it's possible to give an efficient play clue here. Libster could clue yellow to Florat slot 1, which would be a push on the teal 3.
Now hold on though, this looks very scary. Okay, wow. I see what you mean by flying by the seat here.
Mm-hmm.
Floret's. I was like, oh god, there are 0 clues, but Floret does get a clue back. Okay.
Well, yeah, this was chosen specifically so that Floret would generate a clue, and Steven would not be discarding from slot 1 on this turn. So
Whew.
Steven is now very spooked. Libster picked a significantly less efficient clue just to protect Steven's chop, so Steven
interesting.
isn't explicitly locked here, but I am quite aware that my slot 1 card is not trash in this circumstance.
That's very cool. Ah, here's the Floret essay. We'll see. We'll get there later, I'm sure. Okay, so Steven is spooked out of his mind. Is that right? Yep.
That is correct. Yeah.
Very cool. And a teal.
So now with this clue, I have pushed Florat's yellow 2. And normally, when you want to play the missing card, you would play from slot 1. But because Libster has elimination notes for yellow 1, back to when I forced Timo to discard yellow 1, Libster is going to play it from the rightmost position in their hand.
Oh, right. I didn't even notice this getting discarded. Very cool.
Yep.
Very nice. And now Florat's note.
So now Florat has a known teal 3 in slot 4 from Steven's perspective, and a known yellow 2 in slot 2. So Steven is expecting a teal 3 to play, since that will get Libster to play teal 4. But Florat plays yellow 2 instead.
Ooh, is this a right prompt priority?
So Steven does indeed respond to this and prompts from their rightmost 3.
Very cool.
Due to the priority signal. Plays the yellow 3.
Very nice. Oh man, this is getting stressful.
Yeah, we have 1 clue and we have a lot of criticals riding on chop right now, so it's a spicy situation.
From Timo's perspective, if he knows this is not red, was this spooked? Or
it's known blue 2 because Timo was allowed to discard a blue 2.
Okay, but he has other plans. Snaps up the opportunity to finally, that must have felt very good, to finally lock these down. So very nice clue. Oh, but
so
wait.
steals the clue to save. Now Libster's going to discard, and teal 3 is going to play from Florat's hand.
Oof, okay, and now a big sigh of relief, I'm sure. It's all trash.
Yeah, we get to see some trash finally. It's quite nice, yeah.
Interesting, okay, yeah.
So Steven is locked and must give a clue. And this filling clue on the red 3 is very clearly a stall clue. And because I don't give any save clues, I'm also implicitly giving permission to my whole team to discard from slot 1 if they need to.
Seems reasonable. All right, red 1 shows up.
Yep, and there's another neat little thing that goes on with this this 1 clue, which is that normally you are supposed to push cards, not directly clue them. So why didn't I clue color to Timo slot 2? And in a variant like this, where you can always clue color to the card in slot 2, because there's, it's not a white variant where the card might not be able to be clued with color. We actually play that if you receive a direct play clue instead, you write a KT note on the card in slot 2.
That's cute.
So Timo's next discard is coming from the blue 4 in slot 2, not from whichever card they draw from the deck.
Very cool. I'm trapped in a hypothetical. Hold on, please hold. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Okay. By the way, reminder to chat. I'm just checking. In about 20 minutes, there's more. We're gonna do the Pod A round 1. So hold on to your fireworks. All right. Blue 3 showed up. Blue suit is here. That's amazing. Okay. This has -4 on it. I was about to be very confused. Wait a minute. This is, oh god. This is pushing, right?
Yep, so
Or
this
is the
pushes
system-
the
okay.
yellow 4 and lives your slot 2, and also causes Steven to write teal 5 elimination notes on their hand,
Very
because
nice.
otherwise this clue is not looking very good.
Very fancy. Okay. Is this getting blue 3 or the yellow 4?
Yeah, so in this specific case where you're touching 2 or more cards and it includes the card on chop as well as the card to the right of it, it is pushing the card on chop, one of the clued cards. This is one of the few cases where the clued card is actually the one that's pushed by the system.
Cool. All right, more safe discards. And now I'm excited to see how Civilized does with the very deep purple 2. So you can see the purple 3, 4 are shaping up. It seems like maybe good distribution, but I'm curious if they take any extra measures. We'll see. Okay, cards are playing. Trash is discarding. Life is good. That is just unknown 4. I think you just discard right to left, so that's nothing weird.
Yep.
And now, yeah, it's the hunt. We've all seen this before, folks. We're looking for the purple 2s and the 2 5s on the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, so this is a big blunder by Steven here. I was getting a little low on time, and I lost. It had been so long since the blue 4 had been marked as KT by the 1 clue that I was beginning to lose a little confidence. So I wanted to take out insurance against losing a critical here. And I decided to give a clue to Timo's hand to make sure that the purple 5 didn't get discarded. But the correct clue on this turn is definitely 3 to Timo.
That's fair.
Which will save both the purple 5 and the purple 3. And the reason that's important is that if the purple 2 is if both copies of purple 2 are in the bottom 3 cards of the deck, then we can still win as long as we use Timo's purple 3 to start the final round of the game.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that in the last couple of games, the live games.
Yeah, and
it almost became a big concern, right? So.
Yeah, and if the blue 3 is in fact in the bottom 3 cards, then Steven's purple 3 is not good enough to get all the points. So this is definitely a blunder by Steven to let Timo discard the purple 3 here.
Yep, one of the teams actually scored. They lost a point because the purple 4s were out of order. The purples needed to get tripped up. So yeah, so now you can see, folks, right? The 3 and then the 4 and the 5. This is like the nightmare order. But okay. Got a push on the teal 5. And now the dig. Nothing but... Oh, okay, this is a cool strategy.
So this is...
Yeah, go ahead.
We are at 8 clues, but we have... and so we need to advance the deck. And if yellow 5 or red 5 or purple 2 are very soon in the deck, then the fastest way to get to them is not to clue and let someone else discard. The fastest way is to just intentionally bomb a card. And we refer to this technique facetiously as the competition discard. So everyone on the team knows that that's what Steven is doing here. There's no possible way Steven could think that they have a playable in slot
1. I love this kind of convention because it's really innovation that literally makes no sense outside of tournaments, but it's a very clever idea in tournaments. Yeah, it just is advancing the deck like 1 turn faster, basically.
Yeah,
it eternally burns a clue from the system, right?
Yeah, indeed. Yes, it burns a clue. Yeah.
Oh, and there's another one. No fear. Bomb into 2 strikes, and very nice. Very nice. I love to see it. Okay, there's the push. There's the purple 2. And now let's hold our breaths and see what their final turn count is. 2.
So Florat made a very nice calculation here, which is that last turn they were correct that they had to stall in case both of the yellow 5 and red 5 were on the bottom of the deck. But now they've calculated that if they discard here, and they're both on the bottom of the deck, then Steven plays purple 3, and Timo can play the other 5 from the bottom of the deck. Libster plays the purple 4, and Steven plays the 5 that they drew.
Beautiful. And I will say, to chat, if there's one team in the world, honestly, that I would expect to be really on point with their end games, it's going to be these guys. They are monsters at they're all very good at calculating end game stuff. So yeah, it'll be a treat to watch them play. So all the things you're seeing of the the tournament discards, I love that. And these optimized discards is very beautiful. So well done. And there it is, the blind play, discard. Another 69, nice.
Woohoo!
So you tied V for Valletta for 69 turns, but folks, the Civ, Ref Civ, managed to emerge unscathed in BDR. That was some wild mid-game stuff, so really well done.
Definitely a nail biter. We were low on clues for a large section in the mid game there. I was very happy to survive that.
Libster's mentioning that you were all sort of time pressured. Yeah, interesting. Honestly, I'm glad you felt a little pressured with time. I want to strike a good balance of time pressure and time to think. So, all right, yeah. GG, and thank you so much for walking us through it.
Yeah, happy to do it.
Does chat have any questions, either for the team or about the system? Because we have a little bit of a break. I might take a quick drink and bio break in between rounds.
Yeah, sure. And also, if anybody wants to head on over to Hanabi Central and they could ask maybe more in-depth questions about the system, Referential Civ, if they're interested. There's a channel on Hanabi Central called Referential Civ, and we're always eager to teach new people the system. Yeah, I can't put the Discord link in right now, but if somebody else could,
yeah,
maybe Tim or Libster or someone in chat. Thank you.
Yep,
and I'm also happy. I'm also happy to answer any questions that that might show up in Twitch chat, but maybe not to the same level of depth that I'd be willing to if they were in the Discord. So, yeah.
Very cool. Actually, while I have you here, are you planning to stick around, or what's your schedule like?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
No worries either way.
I'm very happy to help commentate the next pod if you want me to. I'm also happy to not if you have another guest commentator. I leave it up to you entirely.
No, it sounds great to have you.
Awesome. Okay. Reconvene in, I guess, about 15 minutes according to the schedule.
I'll be back in like 5, but yeah, I'm gonna slap up a BRB. You can come back in 15. Yeah.
I can be back in 5 as well. I will see you guys soon.
All right. See you, folks. That concludes Pod B, of course. But like we said, yeah, in 15 minutes we're going to jump right back in. And reminder, the pods are playing different games. So the other 4 teams are going to be playing different decks entirely. So yeah, it'll be good stuff. And actually, I should probably write them. So I'm going to be back in a few minutes. I encourage you all to go get a snack or something. I hope to see you soon. All right, hello, I'm back. Just checked in with the other teams. Right, so, like I said before, welcome back. Pod A is a little bit of a different beast. So, a quick story in the downtime here. Let me just say, it's very hard to organize this. This is 32 players playing, and I mean, it's awesome because all the players are playing from all across the world. I think many of the teams are working across multiple time zones. So huge shout out to all the teams who communicated with me. It's been tricky to try to weave all this together. I'm pretty happy with how we did. I think on average we're gonna have about 2 games live and 2 replays each broadcast. So yeah, honestly, it's a little bit of a relief because juggling 3 or 4 live games at once seems a bit silly. Oh, I can hide the spoiler. Also, I need to update these. But yes, we're about to have 2 more teams come on and 2 teams off. In our top corner will be the Hoodlums. I think spelled this way. The Hoodlums with Helena, Marcus, Micerang, and Time Hoodie, which should be awesome. I love all those folks. And then the other team we're going to be playing live is Team Hydra, which you all know and love. They are the previous winners of the New Blood tournament. So, yeah, that'll be awesome to see them jumping into the big pond. Or wait, out of their new bloody pond. You know what? Never mind. But I'm excited to see them step up to the big leagues, along with Team 4. Yeah. Yay, Adron! Congrats on the game. Y'all were... Well, I don't know if you saw the whole broadcast, but... Well, wait. I guess, of course not. But did you see the other replays? I don't know. I don't want to spoil you if you don't want to be spoiled. Let's see. The other team is going to be... Team Hydra. Okay, so while I remember it, let me just explain real quick. Pod A is a little bit cursed. It's not anyone's fault, but I will say I'm very, very sad to say that Team... There we go. Team KT, question mark. KT is basically, they need to miss every single live game. Not only that, they literally cannot play the seeds until like a week or 2 from now. So they're under strict orders, and I trust them all fully to just avoid everything tournament related. They're not watching the stream, not reading anything. So they're sort of in their little bubble. It's not ideal, I know. It's awkward because then we won't actually be able to know where people stand. But our options were that or kicking them from the whole tournament, which seemed very sad. Okay, well, Adron, I will say you were only one of 2 teams that scored the perfect 30. Hey, Florman, hello! Yeah, so y'all are in a solid 2nd place. And by the way, yes, I will be publishing a brand new shiny standings chart. Oh, I apologize. Okay, update. Whoop, whoop. We're only going to be watching 1 game live. The Hoodlums are playing live, so that's cool. But yes, Team Hydra is going to be a replay as well, so I do have that. I was like, what the heck is this replay from Team Hydra sent to me from the future? But no. Anyway, I'll populate this later, but yeah, this will be all fancy soon. Nutella, hello. Oh, it looks like they're just playing for fun. FTL. Yeah, so, oh, right, and then the Deck Masters, again, they had, I think they're in 3 different time zones. So the Deck Masters, they also cannot play, at least for this round. I think they're going to catch up by next round, but fingers crossed. So yeah, like I said, Pod A is a little bit cursed, but we'll all get to see the games eventually. I might have like a special broadcast, just airing all of KT's games. I feel kind of bad because they're gonna have to play all 4 of their games in one day. So yeah, if anyone, yeah, that's gonna be rough for them. But they're awesome players, so I'm sure they'll be okay. But okay, as we wait, we have 3 minutes. I'll check in. Schedule's up there. Who is this? Oh. Oh, Steven. Yeah. I mean, nothing. This time, I didn't even expect. I honestly, this, despite these weird hiccups, this is better than I expected. If we can get 2 live games on average, that's great. Yeah. And I will be reaching out to guest commentators as well, so I'm excited for that too. So lots of cool stuff. It's going to be so much Hanabi. 8 teams of 4 games is 32 games. And then also the semifinals and finals, just to explain real quick. The semifinals are going to be 2 rounds. So it's basically the 2 pods are going to filter into one final pod of 4. And then the top 2 of that will advance to the finals. And the finals are going to be a giant mystery. They do not know what the variants they're going to play are. I do, and it's a secret. I'm quite excited about it. The only thing I've told them is that I'm not going to, like, throw the rug out from under them and, make them have to do null and clue starved or some crazy thing like that. It will be manageable, but I want to keep it a surprise. So, not special mix. I did think about it. I promise I did think about it. But I had some very smart people advise me. Yeah. And by smart people, I mean Kimby and Piper. We talked about it. It is the KiPiPi Cup after all. So yes, we came up with, I think, a very fun idea. But no spoilerinos. That's all you get from me. Throw it in a hole in a tournament would be sweet. Has that happened before? We've had detrimental characters in a tournament. There was a special mix tournament. No clues, oh god. Remain, there is, blind. Number blind. Totally blind is a variant. You can go and play totally blind. This is a cursed variant. All the clues you can give are just negative clues. So yes, this is also not what it's going to be, so do not worry. Okay, it looks like you can see the hoodlums are just wrapping up a practice game, and then they're going to filter into the lobby. I'm going to give them the go-ahead. Come on in. Oh, and Steven as well. The party's all here. Are y'all ready?
Aye, Captain.
I can hear you, actually, which is good. Hello. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm excited to commentate a whole round this time.
Yeah, and I will say I don't know their conventions either. I kind of expect. Well, actually, we were surprised. Uh, hey, hello, Nick. I do actually recommend anyone who's just viewing it right now. Definitely check out V for Valletta's game because they also came with what looked like spicy new tech. Steven, have you heard about their tech?
I've heard just a little bit about it, which is I believe that they're playing with soft chop moves on the entire starting hand, and then they're trying to play mostly H group conventions besides that change.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, that was a delightful surprise. You know, I walked into the spectator and all their cards were chop moved. So sounds like classic Floraman tech. Okay, they're ready to go. Hoodie says, "Yep." Countdown. Oh, Adrian says it's not a soft chop move. It's just a straight up chop move. Adrian, if you're curious, I'd be curious.
Sorry, let me just 1 second.
Oh.
I accidentally joined the game as a spectator, which I know will cause the bug. So let me
Yeah.
figure out how to make that undo that.
It seemed like okay, they might be in. They're in. They're in.
Oh no! I think I just cursed them.
Uh-oh. Well, we did give them the extra time, so... Okay, be warned. Actually, wait, no, Steven, we might be okay, because Timo said the bug might have been fixed. But we'll see, we'll see. Okay. But alright, folks,
Yeah.
They are in. It might be fixed, but we'll see.
Well, one thing that's interesting is I'm currently looking at a lobby screen, and I see my name listed as a spectator for that game, but I cannot enter as a spectator, and it tells me that I'm already spectating that game. So I really hope. Yeah, I really hope I haven't done something that will affect this team. And if I have, I don't know. I will owe them. I'll figure out some way to make it up to them.
Don't feel too bad. I mean, I did give everyone extra time specifically because of this, so it's all good. But okay, while you're figuring out how to spectate, let's take a look at the board. Awkwardly, okay, all right. There half the ones are visible, but what is awkward is there are no connecting twos. Okay, except for Marcus's hand. So one thing savvy viewers should start looking out for when you're spectating these games. It's not the playables you want to look out for. The cards that really are going to matter are the cards that are not playable but useful, right? So this purple 4, for example, how is the team going to possibly save this card if it's not a 5 and it's not playable? Or these yellow cards, right? Ideally, you can set up a way to bluff these or trash chop move them, right? But these are all big questions that they're going to have to figure out. And that's sort of the fun of trying to play hyper optimized Hanabi. So it's cool that all the teams are tackling that in different ways, right? We have full-on referential civ, we have chop move all the cards, and then we have just H group, which is historically pretty good at it too, if you're careful. Steven, are you able to watch?
I am, yeah. Okay. I see the game. One thing that I like from the decisions that they've made so far is that there's now actual trash riding on Meisterang's chop, which is always nice.
That's a good point. Yep.
Yeah, I think the big question that's going to arise here is how is the team going to protect the yellow cards in Marcus's hand? Now, they have some time to sort this out because Marcus has a blue 2 and a teal 1 play first. But
Steven, you know what my answer would be on turn 2, right? Mice.
oh, I absolutely do. Yes.
Just to show it, this same question is a different sort of system you can use. Is this idea of dawn, where yellow would get not a bluff but a discharge. So just another example, right? There are so many ways. It's a really cool time to be playing Hanabi, I think. There's lots of different ways to be playing. Sorry.
Absolutely. And I will say, from my casual inspection of this opening board, it looks like Dawn would do a pretty bang up job of handling what's going on here.
Well, what else is new? I may be a little biased, but yes, Dawn is not only just early game, it's literally only in the first 2 rounds of the game. It only ever affects cards in people's opening hands. So again, it's just it's another way of trying to finagle opening cards. But anyway, that's a different story for another day. Okay, so we got an order chop move on the 2, which is somewhat relevant. Yes, Raven, that's right. 8 turns in 4-player. Yeah, but oh man, yeah. Maybe they got tossed a bone here if Mice is able to yellow bluff the red 1, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a big decision point for Marcus. It might look tempting to just give the finesse red to Helena, but there's an old adage, the pang of guilt. There's always a pang of guilt for getting the card on someone's finesse position. I guess this is like a meta pang of guilt, huh? Because it's a pang of finesse. That's weird.
Yeah, I feel like it's very difficult to look off the red clue here, especially now that the red 2 is chop moved. If Halana draws any red cards in the meantime, then we can no longer focus the red 2 very cleanly. I guess we could always use 2 on the chop moved card.
It's a good thing, yeah.
But if we're just looking at safe actions here, Marcus needs to find a way to give a safe action to a Halana on her turn. It looks like what they settled on here. Well, it's hard to say, honestly. I wonder what the expected line is. Is it reds by Mice? Or is it allowing the option of the bluff? I don't know.
I gotta say, well, first of all, let me just say props to Marcus. I think he made the principled, but this is a hard decision to make sometimes. 5, he's passing up the opportunity, and I honestly, the reason why you want to do this, you're asking yourself, what if my chop is good, and I'd be missing out on a bluff? So, I'd be shocked, honestly, if we didn't see yellow to Marcus right here. Because Helena's gonna have something to do, right? Marcus's hand.
My string can see the teal 1 in Marcus's hand, so yeah, yellow to Marcus does look like the standout clue for my string on this turn.
Oh wait, Sturm says chop move ignition finesse.
My string seeking clarity here, giving the red 2 play clue, which will be a hidden finesse.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I'm guessing Mice's idea is that Marcus's hand is so stacked with playables that they can just deal with the yellows later, maybe? I guess this is like a higher tempo line, you could definitely argue.
Yeah. I think Alana's going to have to stop on her turn anyway. The clue Marcus's hand will not be able to play the red 2 the vast majority of the time. But right. I guess if time draws something juicy enough, Halana could consider playing. So that would be the upside for this tempo line.
Ooh, I have some notes coming down. Marcus says, I really hope Hoodie somehow knows this is not red. Oh yeah, like you said, yeah, this is a hidden finesse, right? Because technically Hoodie... Oh, that'd be cool if he jumps ahead. Interesting.
I don't see how time could jump ahead here.
Yeah, he was the one who chop moved it.
Yeah, so, nothing eliminates red 1 in slot 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so
taking a
Ooh.
moment to clue 4 to Halana.
Oh man, was this their plan? Because now they could do a yellow locked-hand save. That'd be wild. I don't. This is the thing, right? We don't know exactly their conventional agreements, so we could see anything right now.
Absolutely. I'm going to guess that they're playing fairly close to H group standard, and that yellow would be disallowed on the basis that teal 1 is a playable in Marcus's hand. You can't give a locked hand save instead of a play clue if
That's
you're
a good
playing H
point.
group.
Yep. I take it back, unless they're cooking up something spicy, but that's a very fair agreement. Okay. Marcus has a big note on blue 2. No bluff. I love this kind of note. He noted that on, what was it? Yellow 1. Well, he's read that they didn't get blue 2 bluffed, so he's wondering what this could be. Wait, Marcus already has this marked as maybe blue 2.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I think
okay.
what Marcus was looking at when Marcus clued 5 to Halana was,
Okay.
there might be a bluff to Marcus's own hand, but Marcus can see that blue to Halana or 4 to Halana just works as a hard bluff on the red 1 through the blue 3, which is 1 away from playable.
Right.
And so the fact that it was looked off makes Marcus suspect a blue 2 in slot 1, and then gets the confirmation when the 4 clue comes in afterwards.
That's an awesome read. I told y'all, every single team here, yeah, this is a stacked tournament. We're gonna see a lot of really cool reads. So yeah, I expect to learn some cool stuff just watching. Okay, what's Helena gonna do? Is it really just the teal 1? Yep, another nice thing, by the way, about the pods, the reason I like this pod structure is that this means that I can have commentators from other pods come on and, yeah, and we can have spectators, because they are different seeds. I hope the team can capitalize on Mice's trash hand. They really have to make sure he's the one discarding. They might have just pulled it off, actually.
Yeah, it looks like Mice will, in fact, be able to discard on their upcoming turn, so that's always nice.
Ah. A sailor is asking if we're streaming. Hello, a sailor. Alright. Is Mice going to discard? He kind of has to, right? Which is exactly what they want. Oh man, Mice is thinking spicy. He's wondering if he has red 1 as a magic finesse.
As a magic finesse. Interesting.
Which is a classic Jeff term for when if someone ignores a finesse. but it was a hidden finesse, so I don't know. Yeah, because Hoodie didn't even play as one. He's interesting. He says he really wants to discard just because of the 5 save, but that would be a huge risk. Wow.
It'll be very, very spicy if we see Meisterring discarding slot 1 on this turn. I wonder how the team will react to that. Because it's going to be difficult for them to reverse engineer the idea that Meisterring did it as a red 1 discard. He went with the safe discard from Chop.
Yeah. But I love that you're digging deep into those reads. And just to show chat what I mean, Mice was reading into the fact that Marcus went with this 5 save because it's definitely not the expected clue instead of the red finesse, right? So Mice is thinking, maybe I have the red 1, but I don't know. But anyway, off to the races.
So now Marcus has an interesting decision point here. Marcus can play a known teal 1, or Marcus can stop and give like an occupied plate clue to the green one if they wanted to force my strength to discard trash. But it looks like what
Yeah.
Marcus wants instead is some way to get a good save clue. And there they go.
There
they
we
have
go.
the yellow card saved.
Boom. All right, so Mice's strategy worked out. Yeah, he noted that Marcus had a bunch of stuff to do, and surely there would be either a yellow 2 show up eventually, or a trash chop move, or a bluff, and now this is looking really strong. Whew.
Yep, we don't have any potential BDRs riding on chop right now. Purple 4 and teal 3 are both duplicated. And Marcus and Mice Rank have trash riding. So it's looking pretty good for this team right now.
Yeah, definitely. And in deals like this, where at least for now, there's no BDR risk, that's where turn count and like efficiency is going to become an even bigger deal.
For sure, yeah. And we never know. The deck could be one of those brutal ones where it gets hard near the end if the cards don't come quick enough. But right now, it's looking very good.
Yeah, Adrian, the Magic Finesse Bolt, I'm only half memeing because it was a thing that Jeff actually did propose. But it was sort of a meme. But it's a thing that he did when he finessed cards, but people didn't respond to them. He was like, especially in like newer games, we all know the classic mistake, right? Where you look away for a second and you forget who gave the clue. And it turns out they actually have the connecting card. But yes, it is Jeff loving to blind play cards. Not a tournament viable strat, I would say. Though we almost did see it. Lineup. I love all their notes. They're thinking hard.
Yeah, I think Marcus is spending their clock right now trying to figure out if there's any way they can justify stalling in order to not discard their chop card on slot 2. Because they see that everyone else on the team has a safe discard. So if anybody has an unsafe one, it's Marcus.
Well, there seems to be a 5 stall, right? Oh no, early game is technically over, so that is scary. What do you think?
I think if they're playing by the age group book, then Marcus doesn't really have much of a choice but to discard. Because stomping on a previously clued card is going to be a double ignition and is going to bomb the green 5 as a result. And any clue that doesn't stomp on a previously clued card is going to be some sort of play clue.
Yeah, it is scary because there are a few cards it could be that would be, well, you know, I think maybe it's just green 4, red 4. But still,
green 4 and red 4 are definitely the ones we're most worried about. Yeah. Okay, and we see the discard.
Okay, so next up on the docket of things to be scared about is teal 4. But that's way down the line. Yellow 2 is a big pickup. Oh, okay, a second yellow 2 is an interesting pickup.
I think we're likely to see Marcus steal the clue here and reach across the whole table to clue yellows to Halana, because Marcus sees a safe discard in both Mice and Time's hand.
Yeah, I've started to use this cool terminology. I know you know this, Steven, but for the viewers, this idea of a call to discard. Marcus reaching across, like Steven said, right? It's kind of weird. It's not really normal to reach across and steal as a 1-for-1. But it's exactly right? He wants to exhaust and like snuff out any possibility for Mice to have a good auction other than discarding. So it can be a clever team strategy. Oh man, the notes are going wild on these. Oh, hey, look at that.
I am correctly predicting Marcus's actions. Nice.
I'm going to predict Mice going to straight up rate purple 3 elimination notes. when he discards this.
Yeah, very strong suspicions of a purple 3. Yeah.
I'm too lazy to like.
I
go
would
back
write
and
hard
look for
elimination
context.
notes
Yeah.
if I were mice. Yeah.
There might, I don't know. There's usually some level of context that makes it possible to make the read, but at least you're gonna really hope.
Yeah, I think what's gonna happen is time is gonna clue 5 to mice very likely if time doesn't discard. And now that mice has a chop moved card in hand, it's gonna be. Yep.
Oh no, we gotta be careful. This could be dangerous because the 5.
Your point is that this was a DDA situation and might just be a 5-stall.
This might actually be kind of scary.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Oh man, okay. And yeah, mice did write hard elimination. Okay, mice did chop move. Holy moly. That's scary.
Yeah. Okay, well that worked out then. Because of the hard elimination notes of purple 3, this 5 clue works as a chop move. That's good. I like that.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, instant, yeah, chat. This is pretty awesome. I think. This is a level of trust to your team that is not normal. Because yeah, this looks to the untrained eye, or even the trained eye, especially to the trained eye, like a 5-stall. But mice fully trusts that this is a chop move and probably exactly purple 3. Very cool.
It looks like even more encouraging is that the whole team has CM notes on the card. So nobody seems to be entertaining the idea that it might be a 5-stall. Everyone is fully on board. This is a 5 chop move. That's good to see. Love it when they all have the same note.
I've totally stolen your. You made such a good remark back in the New Blood tournament that it doesn't matter if 3 of the teammates have it noted. All that matters is the person whose hand it is has it marked, and indeed he does. So
yeah, the one note that matters. Yeah.
Though it can also be scary if other teammates miss it.
Yeah, it's definitely facetious. It's not true that there's only one note that matters, but yeah, it is the most important note for sure.
And there it is, disaster avoided. GG. Well, not GG. No commentator's curse, but good play. How about that?
And I think Time has got to be sitting here getting a little worried about what appears to be a very busy Halana hand from his perspective.
Yeah, this is a yikes.
Not going to really have any choices here other than discarding, but probably not feeling comfortable, unaware that the teal 3 is in his own hand.
I just checked. Mice has done 4 of the discards this game, so yeah, I don't know. Kind of scary.
And I bet you anything that discarding that purple 4 didn't feel much better.
Yeah, do you think we're gonna get purple 4 elimination?
I don't think so. I don't see how purple 4 elimination. Well, now we do. Yeah. Now we do. Yeah. When Halana discards and DDA there, that will cause purple 4 elimination.
Yeah, because everyone's playing, so okay, just to fill the chat in, Helena just discarded purple 4. If there's any risk of this being purple 4, Helena would never discard here. That would be so scary. But yeah, turns out she sees it and discards. So very nice. Okay, chat, the time has come. Teal 4 has reached top. It's almost going to be a problem, but not for a while, I guess.
Well, yeah, Halana has 2 playables now, because red 3 is drawn just in time. Or 3 playables, at least. Sorry.
Excellent chop move here. Yellow's no
One
trash.
thing I find fascinating... Yeah, this is a good move. Yeah.
And Hoodie... I'm seeing if Hoodie has written purple 4 speculation notes. I do think it's in a tournament. It's worth really agonizing over what your chop moved cards are.
I agree with that. Yep. The timer does reduce your ability to do that to a certain extent, which is quite interesting.
That is, yeah, that's a good point. All right, looks like a bluff we're seeing. Mice has already demonstrated the chop move, so there's no way this is misinterpreted. Oh, Timo, thank you. Oh my god. I thought everything was going too smoothly. There's always something, y'all. What would I do without you, Paul? Oh, dear. Chill Nabi pickup games. It's like the opposite of Chill Nabi. Invitational tournament, round 1. Okay.
I like Mice Rang's note on the purple 3.
Oh, Jesus, that's a lot of notes.
Yeah.
My screen just filled with white. I was hoping to impress people by blind playing this. Yeah. No swag allowed.
Yeah, so people have heard of course, stomping on a finesse, which is when you give a clue to a card that was already finessed. But I like to call this stomping on brilliance. You take away the chance for your teammate to make a brilliant blind play.
Feels bad. Okay, Hoodie must be praying that his chop moved cards are exactly what they are, because otherwise that's going to be BDR, but so far, no BDR. Whew, what's the plan here? Red 4 discard, yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Someone in chat, Dissuade Me, mentions maybe Helena should have stolen this chop move. I think I like that, yeah.
I think Lana wanted to make sure that there were purple 4 elimination notes, and that was the thought process. I will say, if I had been in Halana's situation, I would have taken the yellow clue. But that's not to say that it's right. It's just what I would have done.
Sorry, I fell behind in the review, but stuff is happening. We're going to get to see another fancy move. This is a trash push. Why on earth would you clue... This is like the inverse of a chop move, right? We sort of saw this referential kind of clue in the Ref Civ game, right? Except this time it's H group. So this is a push on this card. But wait, there's more. This is super advanced. It's an unnecessary trash push. So Helena will also play her card. So it's getting 2 cards for 1 clue. Very fancy.
Yep. And as Piano knows, and maybe some in chat know, I have a particular soft spot for this convention.
Ooh, speaking of soft spots, I wonder if we'll see a bad chop move ejection on this turn. 5 to Marcus.
That'd be quite nice.
This would be a 5 chop move, chop moving trash, so Helena has to do something crazy to mark it as trash, which turns out to be an ejection.
So does that not get... Is that not unnecessary on the basis that the 2 for 1 is better than the 1 for 1?
Yeah, yeah, because it's picking up a 5, I'd say it's strong enough.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's just a better way to get red 4.
I guess there's a risk of it being missing. No, teal would always be the clue for the finesse. All right, the time has come though. Dealing with teal 4. Oh, the other teal 4 showed up. All right, boring. 2 to mice.
This is going to be... It's going to be interesting to see exactly how the team handles this spot right here, because Halana is at 8 clues, which is one of, in H group conventions, is one of the times when your clues are most likely to be interpreted as stall clues. Since at 8 clues, you're not allowed to discard. You must clue.
In this case, she does have the yellow 5.
Sure. So, if she plays yellow 5, then Marcus will be in the same position.
Marcus will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think
fun.
that
Go ahead.
that Halana stopping to give a clue now, instead of playing yellow 5, would be good because then there's no risk of it being interpreted as a stall. So she could have just played yellow 5 and let Marcus stall.
Okay, I think you're probably right, but just to play devil's advocate, there is some value, strangely enough, to playing 5s when you're at full clues because it burns a clue from the team's bank.
That's very true, actually. Yeah, that can help with
that's
turns.
some spicy tournament tech.
Yeah.
But no, I think you're totally right.
Ooh, this is awesome. So Halana has given a teal finesse that requires a fix.
Holy
but
crap.
Marcus is in on the joke because both copies of Teal 3 are mutually visible to Halana and Marcus.
Whoa, this could this even work as a patch? Like green fix with the purples? It doesn't quite. Oh my god, wait. This is almost
luckily,
good, but it doesn't quite work as a patch.
Yeah. Luckily, there's a rule that you're never meant to assume that it's a patch finesse when it could just be a finesse of a fix. So Marcus will definitely give a. I'm gonna guess teal here, although it'd be very interesting if Marcus clued green and Mice played purple 3.
And then Pryos. Oh god, we could get some real spice here.
Yeah, I think Marcus is probably thinking about that line, and my guess is that they will look at. Oh, hey, Marcus has written a note indicating that they're thinking about that line. So I quite we'll see whether they do it or Marcus.
Not. We'd hate to see you try it. I don't know. It's up to him. I know what I want to see happen, but I mean, it's a little scary because we can't just give the fix.
So Timo's asked in chat whether this finesse is already just working from Teal 3 elimination notes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good point.
Are there Teal 3 elimination notes, is my wonder. Did somebody...
Yeah, let's do it. Marcus is going to be thinking well.
They will not have Teal 3 elimination notes. I have managed to talk to this team within the past couple of days, and they are not playing with the notion of BDR elimination notes.
Okay.
So there was no discard in DDA following the discard of Teal 3 or anything like that. So it will require a fix for this finesse to work.
Awesome. And I think that's wise. I'm glad they have talked about it. That's the kind of thing that really helps to be on the same page about, because yeah, that would be a horrible thing to have to figure out on the fly which way it's going to go. So here's hoping that they are all on the same page here. Wow.
I do think that Marcus is burning time here specifically because they are weighing whether or not greens is worth the risk. Whether or not greens... Yeah. We'll see whether they go for it or not. And if they go for it and it works, that's going to be very hype.
Yeah, this might...
They are going for it.
Oh my god. So here's what... Just chat, here's what might happen. Purple 3 plays right now, and this plays as a prio. The more sane line would be purple 3 plays and Time Hoodie waits. But things could go really wrong as well, right? Teal 2 could play.
I don't think Time Hoodie should wait if purple 3 plays. Because
I agree. I agree.
Teal 2 is supposed to come first, and if it doesn't come, then maybe Time has it. You don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But okay, here's another nightmare scenario, right? Is Mice, you can see he's debating on the notes. He says, I'm not sure if Time Hoodie has Teal 3. So what if Mice just plays the Teal 2? I don't know. I'm scared, chat. Hold me.
Yeah, if Mice plays the Teal 2 here, I'm predicting for sure a purple 4 bomb if Teal 2 plays.
Me too. Yeah, no, that would be very scary. I think purple 3 counterintuitively is a much safer play. Unless Hoodie pries from the right. Oh dear. Good luck, Mice. The
I have.
novella on purple 3 is growing longer.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast my commentator's curse here and say that I'm relatively confident that Mice Ring will, quote unquote, get this right and play the purple 3, and that Time Hoodie will play the purple 4 after.
Yeah, I
have faith in
one
this
step
team.
back. Sorry, just to explain this. This whole green clue might look weird, but let's just review what happened. Right, this teal clue is a finesse. Okay, finessing teal 2. Marcus obviously knows this is teal 4, and he's in on it. So he's giving this as a fixed clue. Okay, let's not. Okay,
Get hype! Mice Ring has played the purple 3.
Okay. The other nightmare would be. I mean, no. Hoodie has to know. Unless Hoodie plays green too, but okay, no, he's got it. They've got it. I would not fault Hoodie for stalling though if
the only remaining danger here, of course, is the idea that Time Hoodie might play purple 4 from slot 4 as an elimination finesse, because that's where it is supposed to come from.
Oh my god, the server just went down for a second and I had a heart attack.
Oh my.
I'm back though, so they should. Okay, they're coming back. Oh jeez. Purple 4. Oh no! Oh god! Yeah, Flurry. Oh god, that would be horrific if teal 3 bombs is purple 4 elimination pro. Oh dear, I didn't even consider that.
Yep.
Oh,
because there are elimination notes for purple 4. Yeah.
Holy crap! That would make a lot of sense too from Hoodie's perspective. Okay, I gotta say, I would chicken out if I was Hoodie. I would just clue red to hell now. I'm gonna nope the hell out of this situation.
That's true. Time does always have that choice if they're uncertain where they're supposed to play from.
But I mean, you know, tournaments historically are not the place to show hesitation. Like we said, I mean, this deal they can probably suss out is going to come down to turns, so they might. There's real incentive to get the ball rolling. Holy moly!
Yeah, Time Hoodie, it looks like before this turn, had a note on the teal 3 suggesting that that card was by far most likely to be P4. And is now, after this sequence of events, which do look quite strange, is now beginning to suspect that purple 4 is in fact in slot 3 instead.
Oh my god, it worked!
Nice.
Time Hoodie.
Well executed, team.
Oh my god, well done, yeah. Well played. That's absolutely going to pay off too. Wow. Okay, they can double down right now by cluing green to mice. Is Marcus going to be the absolute mad lad and trust that Hoodie's not going to play either of his clued green cards?
I think that might be a little excessively aggressive. I think I might go for 4 to Hoodie, which is a little clearer.
Yeah, that's fair.
But green to Mice Ring should theoretically work, to be honest. Neither of those cards really should be green 2.
Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, no, this is, it's one thing for us to you know, joke about these things, but definitely awesome line by Marcus and Mice.
Timo with an excellent suggestion here in the chat, by the way, for a playful ignition, or I guess it's now called the chop move ignition, with 1 to Helena, chop moving the red 4.
Very nice.
Which would get Time Hoodie's green 2 and Helena's red 4.
Yeah, there's so many names for this right now. Playful ignition makes sense, though. Yeah, you could also call it a trash pull. Okay, 4. Oh, that's clever too.
Yeah, that's very cute. So the rightmost 4 is going to play as a red 4, or might play as a red 4 right now, and then Marcus can play the teal 5 from a little bit faster.
This is wild.
That's quite a nice clue. I didn't even consider that idea. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't hate the idea. I mean, if green's the only suit left, which it is, we might actually get another cursed seed, by the way. It wouldn't hurt them to spread out the greens, but now I think they might have to bite the bullet. Jeez. Red to hoodie as a... Well, no, never mind. It's mice. Mice's turn. Mice has identified this as a green 5. Solid.
I'm loving the excellent mastery of inferences and team trust that's being demonstrated here.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, this
Both
is a
with
real treat to watch. This is why I've been so hyped about this. Anyway.
Yeah, the chop move on the purple 3 was a really excellent example of contextual play by this team, and then getting the green fix to correctly cause a purple 3 into a purple 4 is also another thing that should work, but it requires a pretty long inference chain and a lot of trust between all the teammates to pull it off. So
yeah, to go for that in a tournament setting is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, okay. Mice with is that a positional discard?
I think that's the hope.
Very cool.
Yeah. Let's see if Time Hoodie takes it as such.
I mean, he had known trash, so it's certainly something. He's not screaming to eat glue. Oh wow, that's a... Speaking of trust, Mice is on fire today.
A little bit of insurance here on the basis that it does put the team at 8 clues. So even if it's missed, it's unlikely to cause the loss of the green 2. The worst that Time Hoodie could do is attempt to play it.
Yeah, I heard the blind play noise, so this is another thing you do not want to do at home. Positional discarding, yeah, at score 23 takes a lot of trust. So
yeah, and I guess what Meisering has decided is that there would have been a different action by Marcus if there was a red 5 in their slot 2, because that's the card I would be most worried about in Meistering's position. I guess you could also be pretty nervous about discarding a green 3, because it will cost the team a lot of turns if you positional discard a green 3 there.
That's a really good point, yeah. Whew, yeah. Whew, okay. Alright, they're at 8 clues again. They could get a positional bomb, maybe? Yep, Helena has it marked. Positional bomb. That's, again, very swag, because they'd be burning 2 cards deeper in the deck without any clues. And actually, there's just no risk, right? There's no unplayable card that this could be.
Now that Marcus sees the other copy of Green 4, there's simply no risk. Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, there's only upside, right? Maybe it bombs as purple 5, but highly doubtful. Do you think Marcus will go for it? I can't model his play well enough in tournament.
I don't know. Yeah, it's unlikely to make any difference in the outcome compared to cluing, given that Marcus has already drawn the purple 5.
Are all cards visible?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
And there's no ability to get to a green 3 faster, since the other copy's still in the deck, and Time is going to play green 3 on this turn.
Okay, so, well then it's, yeah, good point.
But Marcus doesn't know that they hold purple 5. So from Marcus's perspective, positional bomb is quite attractive here, and they may well go for
it. Okay, great. Yeah. So from Marcus' perspective, yes, if purple 5 is on the bottom, then there's a huge incentive to start milling through the cards as fast as possible.
And to answer the question that was asked in chat about the green cards in Time Hoodie's hand, if Time Hoodie is simply left to their own devices and nobody tells them, then the default way to guess is left to right. And so um, they're sort of in a position where somebody really ought to be telling Time Hoodie about Green 3 and Green 4. And if nobody does, I would feel confident.
And you can see Hoodie's poised to strike. He's written fix on both his cards, so he's coiled. And I'm gonna claim this as a positional discard for the Green 3. I think there's no real other interpretation for that. Nice calculation by Mice, by the way, that he doesn't. There's no benefit to playing this 5 yet because he's going to be locked into waiting 2 rounds anyway.
That's true unless a Green 4. Oh no, Green 4 can't be drawn anymore in time. That's true. Yes.
Yeah, it's close. Benefit of positional. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all. It is swag points for sure.
there is no difference between the discard and Queen 3 to Time Hoodie. Yeah, this discard. Yeah, there is no upside for the discard, but you did, I think, mention at some point that there's some sort of bonus for brilliancy / swag points involved in this tournament.
Maybe.
You haven't decided on
the
that.
idea of a like a brilliancy prize if any games are particularly awesome, but I'll think about it. I'll be honest, I sort of forgot about that.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, maybe Meisterring didn't, and that's why this is a positional discard instead of a 3 clue.
Davey, no joke. Most swag, that was actually floated as a tiebreaker idea. I was thinking we could model it out after like gymnastics, skating or something, where a panel of objective judges, anonymized judges, like score the style points of the game, but we decided that would feel really bad to be on the losing end of in an otherwise tied game. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to really objectively measure that. But it would be a lot of fun, I think. Yeah, no, it sounds like hell to try to actually make a reasonable system for. Meanwhile, I will say, I'm a little scared about this because there used to be there's this idea of a stop discard, right? If you discard, usually instead of doing something expected, oftentimes it means to like reevaluate, like a scream discard, right? So I don't know, that would be scary if Hoodie actually takes it as an invert. But he's taking his sweet time, so I think if I were Mice, maybe I would have bombed it just to make really extra sure. Bomb that baby.
Sure, or just clue 3.
Mice is like, yeah. Fun fact, you can write notes as a spectator. They can't see it, don't worry. I love having the spectator note conversations in a game. Speaking of, wow, we have 10 spectators here. And 25 viewers. This is awesome. Hello, everyone. I don't know. I hate to say it. I think I might play slot 4 if I was Hoodie. I don't know. I think I would like talk myself into a bad loop and decide that it's much deeper than it really is.
Well, luckily, that choice to play the card in slot 4 would only cost turns for this team. It would not cost any points.
Yeah, poor Time Hoodie. He's been put to the test for sure. Oh dear. And by the way, there is right after this we are doing one more replay review of Team Hydra. So I am pretty curious what the turn count across the teams will be for this deal.
So the comment about Marcus's note on P5, by the way.
Commentator's curse, by the way. Green 4 bombed.
You did predict the action, though, so that was smart. So to answer the comment in chat about Marcus's note about no P5, that is the same note that I would write, because the only advantage for a positional discard over a 3 clue would be if the purple 5 is still in the deck.
Yeah. Right. Good point. Okay, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Hoodie was in an impossible situation here, and I think fortunately, it didn't really matter. Like Steven said, the other green 4 is visible, so it's not a big deal at all. And there we go.
Sure, and to answer Floriman's question in chat now about the P5, I agree. Mice Rain probably does not want to draw it, and should just play the red 5 if E5 is in the deck. So maybe it's true that the argument slices both ways, but there are some situations where discarding can have at least some upside if P5 is in the deck, and there are none if P5 is strong already. So that'd be my thinking, but of course playing red 5 would be better than positional discarding, so I don't know.
Claps in chat. That was a perfect game.
Yeah, I think that was 0 BDRs and a perfect score.
And a whole lot of swag. That was spicy as heck near the middle end game. Whew. All right. Wow. Congrats to the Hoodlums. Taking it. No worse than well, actually, oh, sorry, I forgot. They could, in theory, get last place on this seed if all the other teams got 0 BDR and a faster turn count, but I gotta say it's like it's gonna be hard to beat, except for the slip up at the end. What do you think, Steven? How do you think they did overall?
Looks to me like a very solid result. I find it very difficult to predict what other teams are gonna do, but in the interest of making a prediction as a commentator, I'll go ahead and say that at least one team will get a better result based off of the third tiebreak turns.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Yeah, at least we'll see. If the Greens played in order, that would be pretty hard. But I think they gave a window of opportunity for if any other team plays like crazy, it's going to be
and
hard.
To be clear, it is a very small window. If I were forced to put money on this prediction, I would say no. Totally. But it's the more fun prediction, so it's the prediction that I've made.
But reminder, I mean, you can check out the other teams they're up against. The tournament staples, Evander, Jerry crew with Tony, Ellie. All these players are stacked. The Deckmasters, and who we're about to see, Team Hydra. This will be the last game of the broadcast, folks, so I hope you all have had fun. What did I do? Okay, here we go. Team Hydra stepping in the big leagues. Yes, good. It does appear to be the same seed. Here we go. The score to beat. Do you remember, what was it, 65 turns? 66? Crap. I don't remember.
Let me just quickly check. It was 67 turns on the interface, which is a 66 turn game.
Cool. So 66, 0 BDR is the score to beat. That's pretty good. Okay, and yeah, these will be familiar names to anyone tuned in. Forehead, Tails, Sturm, and Darth Gandalf. And I believe they were doing like level 18 or so last time. But I don't know. I also have seen them practicing, so who knows. Uh-oh. Oh gosh. Oh, so close your... Okay, okay. Thank you, Saturation. Okay. Ah, we're safe. No spoilers. Sorry about that. Here we go. So far, identical opener. We have the same...
Are you in a shared replay or private replay?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Let me do shared. How about no?
Beautiful. Okay, I'm with you.
All right, so I think this is the same clues, right? Blue one's order chop move, play.
Yep, exact same start so far.
And now let's see if forehead. Well, yeah, this was the dilemma, right? This was a tough turn, whether you do the finesse or the or the 5 pull or the 5 chop move.
Indeed. Yep.
I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. We got the finesse.
So the finesse, and then probably the fork clue. Yeah.
Yep. So this is definitely even higher tempo than we saw before. But yeah, I mean, the name of the game is how to save the yellows.
So interestingly, this early game is going to end up lasting longer due to the increased tempo. Tails can give a 5 save here, and then Tails can even potentially give a 5 stall next turn, although a green 1 has been drawn in the meantime, so that's not going to happen.
Yep, so we did see the 5 save. Man, I remember the days in tournaments where people were just like turning off 5 stalls. But we'll see if they do that here. Ah, bingo! That's a great clue. Problem solved. Alright, another really creative way to save these cards. Boom. Trash
Nice.
finesse. Unnecessary trash finesse. And what does that mean, chat? Boom, boom, boom. Chop moves. Feels good. Well, I mean, that's step 1 of what they needed to do, right? To keep up with pace is deal with that hurdle. So what's next?
Yeah, it's looking good.
Okay. This all looks familiar. What do you think about the decision not to gentlemen's?
I like it. Forehead's hand is already quite overloaded. If you play blue 4, there's a chance that Forehead will not feel the need to advance the deck. If you discard blue 4, you force Forehead to advance the deck, and that's not something you want to be happening. You don't want to make Forehead draw more cards than they need to.
Awesome. Makes sense. All right. Man, this is eerily similar in terms of distribution. I think all the cards are the same.
Yeah, the same deck order will do that.
Oh wow, so Forehead doesn't take the bait and goes with the discard. And by the way, I should note, this does signal they are playing higher level conventions, because this unnecessariness is pretty advanced to rely on. Alright, how are they going to deal with the yellows? The classic ambiguous. Tails has an interesting decision.
That's quite interesting, yeah. I kind of... I have a particular soft spot here for the top hat.
Oh, what would that be? Yellow to Sturm? What's
well, I guess yellow to Sturm isn't quite working, and nor is 2, so I guess you can't do what I want. Which is unfortunate, though. I wouldn't want Sturm to be discarding the teal 3, so maybe as Tails I would actually... I don't know. I don't know what I think the best action is here. I don't feel very comfortable in Tails' spot because I don't want to discard, and I also don't particularly wish to give any of the clues that are available to me. And then have Sturm discard one of the copies of Teal 3 when Darth Gandalf holds the other copy of Teal 4. But maybe I'm being a little too fussy. There are plenty of decent options here. 3 to 4 head works just fine. Sturm discards and Darth Gandalf plays.
Gandalf is not shot moved yet, no. So yeah, folks in chat are saying Teal to Gandalf. Yeah, that is pretty good. I do agree though. It's got to feel a little weird to leave Gandalf with both the Teal 3s and 4s. But let's see.
I would be nervous that about bluffing a card that a player might defer the bluff to bluff themselves.
Yeah, that's
so like if you include Teal to Darth Gandalf, Sturm has to guess whether or not you've in fact bluffed Yellow 2, or if they are supposed to be playing Teal 2, then maybe they'll defer that to get Yellow 2 instead. And then it's not the end of the world. It's just a bomb on the second copy of Yellow 2, but it could be a little confusing.
Well, this is a really creative option. I like what's being cooked up here. 4 here. Presumably now can be fixed with yellow. Yep. And then the big question is, does Gandalf trust the ambiguous? Yes. Very Beautiful. Nice sequence.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, actually. Because 3 was blocked. Yellow is out of order because they're chop moved, so this required 2 clues to get. I like it. That's creative. I'm being careful hovering over notes because I don't want to have any spoilers, but okay, so yeah, Sturm must be pretty scared here. What do you do as Sturm? Whew.
Well, I would definitely discard in Sturm's position. Taking the last clue on the board doesn't look very appetizing with Teal 3 riding on Darth Gandalf's shot.
Yeah. And I'm not even gonna panic. I don't think there's any way Gandalf's gonna discard here. This is a not just a DDA situation, but like we saw last game, right? You gotta be thinking you probably have the other copy. So what's he gonna do? Okay. Just fill in. Oh, I just realized the team's probably, well, never mind. This is still very scary, but that's a huge draw. Okay. I don't know, Steven. They're keeping up pace. They're discarding aggressively, which is, I mean, good. Still no BDR. Oof.
Interesting. Does that get just one card for this team? Oh no, sorry. It's just a filling clue.
Yeah. Okay. Gandalf is currently locked, waiting for the red 3. I wonder if Tails writes purple 3. Yes, purple 3 elimination? Question mark. Oh yeah, especially after the discard. 3 to Tails on the lock situation. Ooh, that seems very scary, Romain. I would be very... I don't know. There's no reason to clue these right now, because you'll be able to clue them later. But okay.
Love it.
Yeah, awesome. This is a... Well, I'm going to assume Tails plays, right? It is very stale, actually, so maybe there is some risk here.
Well, also, technically, this could be a reverse trash finesse to the purple 2.
Apologies, yeah. So, yeah, Tails should never play. So the question is Gandalf going to play, or is this stale enough?
I think a lot of people these days are not playing with reverse trash finesses. I think a lot of people are just playing that they're off, and that these kind of things are always assumed to be either forward or a bluff, basically.
Well, we're about to find out. Pressing the forward button. Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think it's a little archaic, but I do like it. Oh, wow. Trust. Trust at the teal 3 here. Oh my gosh. Gandalf gets it right. Okay. Very nice.
Cheers.
Very nice. Whew. All right, well they're putting on a show too. This is quite nice. Okay. No swag blind play. That would be a bit too much to ask. There it is. Another clever clue.
I like it.
A good touch trash bluff. Or wait, no, it's just a normal. Yeah, sorry. Good touch.
Mm-hmm.
Names are hard. Well, now things have developed really differently than the other game. What do you think?
It looks to me like this is going to be a faster turn count than the other team managed to get. Probably.
Yeah, the Greens.
Maybe not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Oh man, what do they have? 16 turns to win the game. Mice, hello, awesome game. That was wild. Thank you for the excellent spectacle. All right, unnecessary push.
It is still possible for this team to go faster than the other team, even despite this unfortunate discard with the red 5 draw. As long as Forehead can play a card on every single one of their remaining turns, they will finish. I believe it's 1 turn faster.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Oh, another 5. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. But it's still, I mean, yeah, here it is. They've got it in the bank. 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, which means, oh my god. In case you're not aware, chat, if it says 66, that means, you know, Forehead completed the 65th turn right there, and the game ends. So they got there. They pulled it out by a single third tiebreaker turn count. That means every single clue, every single action mattered at the end.
Yeah, that's incredible. This is our first example of the third tiebreak coming into play here.
Yep,
two
perfect scores,
turns quicker.
Perfect BDR.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 really, really tremendous showings by these teams. 0 BDRs, perfect score, yeah, and fast turn counts.
Yeah, wow. And this is an upset. Team Hydra coming in hot. They are here to be reckoned with, playing with the big boys. Yeah, I'm sort of speechless. Well done. GG to them. Yeah, excellent use of trash. They did multiple, like, double trash blind plays, trash chop moves. Their discarding was immaculate. So yeah, well done. Well deserved. Now, let's not jump the gun here. There are going to be 2 other teams playing this seed, but at a later date. So I do apologize that we're going to be left wondering what the final scores are going to be, but
and I guess one thing that's very important to impress on everybody who's watching is do not, whatever you do, accidentally leak any information about the seed or the results that either of these 2 teams have gotten to either of the other 2 teams that haven't yet played.
Definitely, yeah. I've been in contact with them. They know to be careful, but that doesn't mean it's easy. It can be very easy to accidentally find information, especially if others are talking about it publicly. So, but whew. Timo says, I think Team Ezra has a very good shot at this pod. Yeah, they have had so much practice with BDR minimization. That's a really good point. Very good point. Yeah,
I am excited for this tournament. There's a lot of strong teams in this tournament, and I think any team might end up with the crown at the end. We don't know.
absolutely. Yeah, we have so many styles, literally different systems. Yeah, different eras. You know, the players span like what 5-6 years of Hanabi expertise. So, I'm pleased as punch.
Well, thank you, Piano, for once again for running these tournaments. That I know it's a tremendous amount of work, and it's a huge treat for the rest of us in the community. So, huge props to Piano. Chat, give him a hand.
My pleasure. Yeah, I mean, my whole I've talked about this before. My whole nefarious plot for streaming and all that, and doing all the YouTube stuff. I just want this community to grow because this game is awesome, and I've had a lot of fun, and I've seen a lot of people have fun with it. So my only ask to all of you is to, I don't know, spread the news, teach someone Hanabi. Yeah, it's a blast. So thanks y'all for showing up. The next stream is going to be on Monday. So yeah, this whole month is going to be like Hanabi Fest. So see y'all later. Ooh, let me raid someone. I feel like I forgot to say something though. Hold on, let me. Steven, did I forget something obvious? Hold on, let me.
You may have, but it's certainly not obvious to me.
Darn. Oh, I hate that feeling. Hold on, let me scroll through my. Well, Steven, I hope you have. I assume you're having a fun night. You're out of the house, so I hope you have a lovely night. Whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I'm over at a board game meetup with some of my friends, which is why I'm speaking from a strange account that doesn't belong to me. So they're wrapping up a game of Root right now, and I'm looking forward to joining in for game 2.
Are they knobbers yet?
They're all aware of the game, but a few of them are not too interested in it, fortunately.
Fair enough. Well, enjoy. Root is awesome. Game nights are awesome. And you know what else is awesome is cute ducklings. So I'm going to raid you all to the only other, I believe, current, one of the only other Hanabi streamers on Twitch these days, Mark Magus. Show him some love, and showing you all some love. Have a lovely weekend, and see you later. And thanks, Steven. Awesome to have you as always.
Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right, the raid is going. It's literally just cute ducklings, so
Alert. Enemy activity detected.
Oh, I guess I'm still technically streaming. I don't know if anyone can see this, but okay, bye.